What a beautiful football winter wonderland in Boone, North Carolina. Welcome inside Kid Brewer Stadium, everybody. Campus of Appalachian State University. You ready for the NCAA FCS Championship? This is the second round as Western Illinois battles Appalachian State. All right, top seed Appalachian State. They want to move to the quarterfinals. We'll have to deal with Western Illinois today to meet the winner of Stephen F. Austin and Villanova. While down in the bottom of the bracket, Montana State and number 5 seed Eastern Washington could have weighed down the line. Delaware's Blue Hens Lehigh today should be a good one. And then number 2 seed William and Mary against Georgia Southern. 8 football games, 16 teams today. Welcome to it, everybody. Michael Rega, my partner, Charles Arbuckle. Western Illinois, Appalachian State. Charles, 2 perennial FCS powers. However, Western Illinois had to get things turned around this year. They did that, while Appalachian State, Buck, it's all about championships here.
When you look at Western Illinois, in 2009, they were 1-10, Michael. This year, what they do, went 8-4 and found a way to get into the FCS championship. App State, on the other hand, 54 of the last 57 home games at the Rock, they've won those games. So you got to come in here. You better be ready to play at the Rock.
Not easy to win inside the Rock. All right, individuals always take center stage. A pair of quarterbacks today. Quarterbacks, for sure, they're always at the spotlight, but they're Walter Payton Award nominees. And we start with the gaudy numbers of Matt Barr of Western Illinois.
You hear Walter Payton Award finalists, you think, what? The Heisman and the FBS. FCS, that's the best player in this division, and Matt Barr is one of those guys. 26 touchdowns, 7 interceptions this year. Has the ability to throw the football. The old lefty, like throwing to Terrian Crump and Lito Senatus, number 1, who likes to make plays for him in the passing game. But what he will do, he's versatile enough in the running game. You've got to protect the lanes and not let him get outside the pocket, because he can hurt you there as well.
And now here around the Blue Ridge Mountains, everybody thrilled to the efforts of Armani Edwards, now with the Carolina Panthers at quarterback the last couple years. How do you follow that up? DeAndre Presley's found a way for head coach Jerry Moore. What a fabulous year he's had.
You know, in talking to him yesterday, he said, hey, I studied Tom Brady and Peyton Manning in the offseason. I wanted to work on my strides, my mechanics, my read progression. When you watch him on film, not only is he good with his legs, he can run the football, but when you watch him throw, he can go to first read, second read, or third read. You're going to see that today. Not afraid to throw the ball around the field, but he does it effectively. 18 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Didn't throw his first interception until the 8th game of the year.
You might think it's a daunting task for Western Illinois, but the Leathernecks know how to win on the road. They beat Coastal Carolina last week. Are you ready? Winter Wonderland at the Rock. We get it started in a moment. Boone, North Carolina, in all of its holiday splendor. The snows hit overnight. Thought that the wintry blast might hold off to maybe about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Not the case. Forecast, yes, snow right here in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Temperature below freezing, but that is not going to be daunting for those, and it'll be capacity here at Kid Brewer Stadium.
Well, think about it, Michael. What you saw there was wind calm, and if you're a quarterback, you want the wind to be a little calm so you can complete passes. Last year, I saw this App State team play Montana in Montana. Big snowstorm. I get up this morning, I'm thinking, is it deja vu all over again? I don't know.
Buck played at UCLA. He didn't know too much about playing in the snow. Us Midwest guys, on the other hand, that's a whole different story. A lot of smoke right now is somewhat billowing over the football field because of the pyrotechnics that go on here at the Rock at Appalachian State. But, Buck, we're very much excited about this as you look at Mark Hendrickson, the head football coach of the Leathernecks. Don't you love that? Doesn't that say December football? The Leathernecks, Mark Hendrickson, and Western Illinois.
Well, when you talk about their keys to the game, they have to protect the Rock at the Rock. App State is +10 in turnover margin, so they need to do well there, and that's one of the key factors that they want to focus on and make sure that they don't allow anything negative to happen in that area, as well as be playmakers on offense and defense. Jerry Moore, on the other hand, with App State, they got to start fast on offense and defense. When they play well here at the Rock, there's no hesitation. They had a bye week. They must do well there, but he also said limit mental mistakes. We call them MEs in football, mental errors. You can't have those against an opportunistic team like Western Illinois on the road. They capitalized on Coastal Carolina's 5 turnovers last week, and that is why they won the game 17-10.
Jerry Moore in his 22nd season here at Appalachian State. Just a couple of wins shy of the 200 win total in this hallowed football program. And well, Jerry Moore and both Mark Hendrickson, we met with them both this week. Fabulous head coaches.
And what's the combination of the common factor between them? Hayden Fry. We'll talk a lot about that in this game. They are both disciples of Hayden Fry, so to speak.
Yes, they are. We will get into that. All right, get set to go. First Saturday in the month of December. Winter Wonderland inside the Rock at Boone, North Carolina. Charlie Jewett, game on as we are underway at Appalachian State. This is Roger Walker from the 3. Walker got belted, special team hit from Nate Bowman of Western Illinois.
Well, what you have to have in big play games like this is not allow that offense to get a fast start. Good start in special teams right there.
A good look at a young man from Tampa, Florida. The junior came into this program as a wide receiver. Charles will develop a lot of that. DeAndre Presley. He's a Walter Payton nominee. He has had a tremendous season, hitting 63% of his throws for better than 2,200 yards. That read zone in the first carry of the afternoon goes to Traveris Cadet. Got a couple. Let's take a look, Charles, at those will make a big impact today for both squads.
You know, Devin Moore is a guy that if he's healthy, he will play well. He's one of those key players. Brian Quick, he is outstanding at getting better and better every single year. You look at the other side, Kyle Glazer, tackling machine. We'll call his name a lot today for Western Illinois.
Traveris Cadet got 4, 2nd and 6 for DeAndre Presley in Appalachian State. Keep the football on the ground. Second straight carry for Traveris Cadet. Going to bring up a 3rd and short.
You know, the concern for App State's offense was what are we going to see out of Western Illinois? When you play teams that you don't play in your conference, you have a lot of different things that they can throw at you. You're not familiar with them. And that's the one thing they wanted to see on this first drive, how they would line up, how they would play. They've done some different things all season long.
Mind to make it the 29-yard line, so we'll call it 3rd and 3. 3 wide now for DeAndre Presley. 45%, as you see, for the Mountaineers in winning the Southern Conference this year. 3rd consecutive carry for Cadet, and he came up short. Cadet came up short as he was spilled by Brandon Kretschmer, who made the big stop from his linebacking spot.
You know, we so often talk about Glazer when you watch this team, but Kretschmer is a guy that's a second leading tackler, and if Glazer doesn't make the tackle, this guy does with 80 tackles on the year.
All right, back in that punt return spot for the Leathernecks is Myers Hendrickson. Almost got to that punt of Sam Martin. We got a flag down as Hendrickson will make the fair catch at the 40. Sam Martin took a hit. Western Illinois came after that, Charles.
Yeah, they did, but the problem is if you run into the punter, that hurts you. Well, they don't call it. Actually, they don't. Oh, yeah, they won't call that. Shouldn't call it. That's a good acting job by Sam Martin.
Referee Todd Boyd. Explanation, of course, the faithful here at the Rock, Kid Brewer Stadium. Not pleased, but we take a look at Matt Barr. Matt Barr, another Walter Payton nominee, will fire that bubble screen. He's got Justin Morgan. Morgan with the catch and a quick gain of about 3.
You know, Michael, when you watch Western Illinois, they'll do a lot of bubble screens, and a guy that they want to get involved is Colton Ray. He is a transfer from Michigan State. Has played well for this offense and is a catalyst. Lito Sinatus is a guy you're going to call a lot. Great player, great outside, great hands. Doesn't drop the rock.
Mark Hendrickson going to empty his backfield. They're going to go 5 wide here and empty for Matt Barr. Now Colton Ray will offset, and he is swarmed down. Swarmed on is Colton Ray as they're making that initial hit. Dan Wiley, the junior who wears number 97 out of Washington, Georgia.
The front four for Appalachian State is so strong, especially the defensive tackles inside. They really get after you. You see Dan Wiley, not only does he have the blocker on him, but he just reaches out and grabs him. And this is where they want to get you, 3rd and long, to make it difficult for you to convert.
Defensive coordinator Dale Jones just thrilled with the attack nature of his defense. Barr's going to air it out. He wanted Lito Senatus. Senatus was being covered on that deep out, and Western Illinois will have to kick the football away.
Guys, this is pressure only with 3 rushers, Michael. They only come with 3 and still almost get there. Jabari Fletcher, John Reiser. Whenever they come, they want to come from the outside to put pressure on Matt Barr, make him step up in the middle where those defensive tackles can corral.
You're looking at Chris Fox a moment ago, the punter for Western Illinois, wearing number 7, Traveris Cadet, who had the 3 carries. Fox dropped the football and then had to ad-lib that punt. Cadet thought about picking it up at the 30-yard line and then he'll let it roll out of bounds at the 29. Chris Fox dropped the punt.
We'll talk about this a lot today with the weather being an issue in the special teams game.
Just getting underway and scoreless out of Kidd Brewer Stadium. For each football team just underway. Oh, yeah, the ladies and gentlemen braving the wintry conditions. Football weather par excellence here in the Blue Ridge Mountains in northwestern North Carolina. DeAndre Presley to put it in the air. Gunning that throw when he wanted his big and outstanding tight end, Ben Jordan, who was covered by a Buck Buchanan nominee, Kyle Glazier, middle linebacker, number 12 right there, Charles.
Well, also, too, Ben Jordan is one of the best. He's got some of the best hands on the team. You don't normally see that. And those are times where you don't stay ahead of the chains, when you don't pick up 5 yards and make it 2nd and 5, now it's 2nd and 10.
Charles and I were so very impressed on tape while watching Western Illinois this year, and Kyle Glazier. Presley going to put the football down and try to get to the edge, and he got taken down by Brandon Kretschmer again. Kretschmer out of Chicago, senior active linebacker.
Well, Kretschmer, you're going to call his name a lot. What they're doing, the linebackers are looking up the crossing route, so that makes DeAndre Presley have to run. The sideline and the coaches wanted horse collar, but it looks like Kretschmer let go right in the nick of time because they will call that.
This Western Illinois defense so impressive last week against Coastal Carolina. 3rd and 10. Presley got picked off by Kyle Glazier. Glazier inside the 15 and finally run out of bounds by quarterback DeAndre Presley.
And it looked like Kyle Glazier was really looking up DeAndre Presley. Look at him. He's looking in the coverage. He snatched his guy on the crossing and just stays right there. DeAndre Presley throws it right to him. That's a mistake that he normally doesn't make, but good job by Mark Henderson's ball club and Thomas Casey, the defensive coordinator. They said, we've got to make plays. And when you're on the road, those are the kind of plays that turn into possessions that you don't have. Hidden possessions, hidden points for you.
Missouri Valley Defensive Player of the Year. Right on time, we mentioned a Buck Buchanan Award finalist. And that pick from Kyle Glazier now has Matt Barr and the Western Illinois offense knocking on the door. This is Barr. Gun and end zone. Caught by Lito Senatus. Touchdown, Western Illinois Leathernecks.
This was the biggest concern for App State. Their secondary has been decimated by injuries, and the old lefty going outside to Lito Senatus, the top receiver, one of the All-American candidates in FCS, can make plays. He doesn't drop passes. Good throw by Matt Barr. Great job by Senatus of getting the foot down, scoring the 6.
14th touchdown grab of the year for Lito Senatus. He set a Western Illinois single-season mark. Pat Smith to add that PAT in off the Kyle Glazier interception of DeAndre Presley. Matt Barr. Corner of the end zone, Lito Senatus, Western Illinois on the board. And it's capitalized on by that young man, Matt Barr. Touchdown throw has Western Illinois up 7-0. Let's go inside the play with Charles Arbuckle. How about the deep linebacking drop from Kyle Glazier?
Michael, he's going to be right here, and he's going to just work in that area to smash basically the receiver underneath. And then he stays there. And DeAndre Presley thinks he has a receiver coming across. You see on the crossing route, but the crossing receiver is actually Kyle Glazier on the other team, directly leading to points off of turnovers. The thing you can't have, but a great play by the 6'1", 220-pound Buck Buchanan Award finalist for Western Illinois.
Mark Hendrickson, his head coach, could not say enough. The superlatives about that young man, and so richly deserved team leader, team captain, and tremendous with his playmaking ability.
And right away you can see some confusion also from DeAndre Presley, because this team normally runs a 3-4, but last week they stayed in 4-3 defensive linebackers all week against Coastal Carolina.
Roger Walker again, same spot as the opening kickoff of the 3-yard line. Walker got toppled as he crossed the 20. DeAndre Presley and this Appalachian State offense. Third possession here in the first 4 minutes and some change of this opening quarter. But Buck, that sudden change got Appalachian State. Now they're going to have to play from behind.
You know, they're okay. They are a team that can score quickly. They can do a lot of different things, but they have to protect the football. You have an opportunistic defense like Western Illinois. You can't give them additional possessions.
Presley's going to go back to the ground game and exploding to that second level. Travaris Cadet, the junior out of Miami, Florida.
Watch Brad Hardy, the fullback or the H-back on this block, big 48. You're going to see him crossing. Boom! You see that block? That's a great block, and that springs Cadet for a long run. Down low, let's look at it again. Boom! You see that block? That is a tough block.
Back live, a second consecutive carry and fifth here in the early going for Travaris Cadet. He's a 210-pound junior, banged up a little bit this year, but getting the bulk of the load early.
You know, he is a guy, they have multiple running backs, so we'll see a lot of guys. They like to keep them fresh, and they have a no huddle. They run quickly, just like Western Illinois. We'll talk a lot about that. They also get checks. DeAndre Presley does not call checks at the line. Everything that comes in comes from Brad Glenn, the quarterback coach.
On 2nd and 7, stay on the ground as a Cedric Baker out of Wilmington, North Carolina, got met by Kyle Glazier along with Dwight Harris. Charles, let's take a look at Appalachian State. Of course, with the 3 straight FCS championships, 5, 6, and 7. 9-2, got beat in the SoCon this year to have their win streak snapped in overtime at Georgia Southern, but bounced back to beat 4th-ranked Wofford and continue on to another SoCon championship.
You know, they just have an impressive resume year in and year out. You know what you're going to get, and ever since they beat Michigan, they have just been lights out.
On 3rd and 5, DeAndre Presley rifling that throw that Brian Quick was not able to haul in. Another opportunity going awry for DeAndre Presley and Appalachian State.
0 for 2 so far on 3rd down conversions. You got to convert on 3rd down. 45% coming into today's game, and today not doing very well in that aspect.
Sam Martin to boot it away to Myers Hendrickson, one of the sons of head coach Mark Hendrickson. Martin will hang that high, and Myers Hendrickson right in his track for the 24-yard line. All right, let's take a look at Appalachian State history. Defense, large part in the Mountaineers winning their first national title. That's Marcus Morrell sacking Northern Iowa quarterback Eric Sanders to force a fumble. Jason Hunter grabbed it, took it to the end zone. 9:14 remaining in the game. The 2 All-Americans were terrific. They led the Appalachian comeback from their defensive end positions. Hunter had 10 total hits, 3 for loss, fumble recovery, couple of sacks in Morrell. Watch him get upfield. 9 total tackles, 5.5 for loss, couple of forced fumbles, 2 quarterback sacks. Defensive effort secured the NCAA Division National Championship Division I title for Appalachian State as they beat Northern Iowa. Now on that rollout, quarterback again, Matt Barr delivering that throw as he was able to once again locates wide receiver Tom Spate.
You look at the record there for Coach Moore, but in recent history, they have played very, very well in the FCS championships.
2nd and 6, quarterback draw, and DJ Smith said, not going to happen. Charles Arbuckle, 2 middle linebackers here today that are just fabulous.
You know, DJ Smith never lost a game in high school. He's 106-9 overall between high school and college. Great play coming off the middle, just recognizing where the play is coming from, getting there. He and Justin Ray, the 2 linebackers, making a good stop there. That's what you need if you're App State.
Started from the minute he walked down this campus, did DJ Smith. All right, this is going to bring up now a 3rd down and 9. Pressure coming from Smith. Barr got the football away, but DJ Smith had some help from his buddy Jabari Fletcher. Was he outside that tackle box?
He was outside the tackle box, but did he get it past the line of scrimmage? That's what App State is looking for. DJ Smith coming with great pressure along with Jabari Fletcher. He must have just got it there because the line judge ran over and verified that it got past the line of scrimmage. Had it not, that would have been intentional grounding.
Travaris Cadet standing back at his own 35-yard line to handle this second punt from Chris Fox, who bobbled the first one. Line drive boot. Cadet's going to play it on a hop at the 35. Travaris Cadet got 6 on that punt return before he was planted by Ryan Waldron. DeAndre Presley trying to make some things happen in the snowflakes when we get back. Might think it's Soldier Field in Chicago, Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Nah, it's Kid Brewer Stadium in Boone, North Carolina. However, we take a look at the Leathernecks of Western Illinois, Missouri Valley champs this year, and then Buck, as we said, no strangers to FCS championship play.
Well, these guys have found ways to win ball games, and last year was not a very good year for them. Mark Hendrickson took over. You can see their best turnaround. But they've had a great tradition. They've had guys like Rodney Harrison, former All-Pro player, Brian Cox, another linebacker in there. We'll talk a little bit more about it, but the Leathernecks, they have their motto, and they have some different things on defense they like to do.
David Bowens still linebacking in the NFL. DeAndre Presley going to go to the ground game, is trying to tough out a tough 4 yards. Was Devin Moore. So we see the 205-pound senior here out of the state of North Carolina. First carry of the day, Charles.
Well, Devin Moore has been struggling with some injuries all year, but he had a big breakout game and had opportunities against Wofford, and he's just been struggling with those injuries, trying to make plays, trying to get on the field, trying to play well.
Again, Devin Moore. Nice cut. Got near the first down sticks, and this, maybe just a shade into Western Illinois territory. The first time that DeAndre Presley and his offense met at the midfield stripe.
Well, good block by Brad Hardy also. We talk about him as a tight end H-back coming across this, and a nice block there on Mike Steeren, and that allows him to get some positive yards.
Again on that quick snap at the line of scrimmage, 3rd consecutive carry for Devin Moore as Moore got tracked and taken down by Terry Barney.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the first down for App State today. You know, they're a team that can go in no huddle. They can go quickly. As the snow falls, I think they were going in their too tight situation. They're going to probably start spreading it out a little bit as well.
And this first down carry again is Devin Moore. Devin Moore still alive. Took hard, explosive run as Moore comes inside the 35. Another first down as the Mountaineers move the chain.
Struggling with the hamstring injury, having some problems, but this is why Devin Moore is in the game. The good ability to run over folks. Terry Barney, welcome Devin Moore. 20 versus 20. The 20 in the black and gold jersey won that back.
As the snow accumulates, it gets heavier. They got Devin Moore lathered up now. Charles Arbuckle as it gets to the second level on that first down call.
And what I like about Devin Moore, who I think was a walk-on when he first came here, his ability to just get inside, and then when he sees an opening, the line will give him something to work with, and he just makes the rest of it happen.
Moore again. He will step through a crease created by right guard Matt Ruff and right tackle Ori Fry, who provided the big blocks.
Unofficially in this drive, he's had 12 broken tackles. You're going to see a few on this play. Good blocking inside, but right there, 2 people missed. It takes 2 or 3 defenders to bring him down. That's why he's in the ball game, whether he has a hamstring injury, whether he has any injury, because of that.
Mentioned a couple of these O-linemen will develop that in a moment. Now Travaris Cadet on the call. Charles, the starting left guard, Pat Mills, wears number 71. Matt Ruff, the right guard, number 70. And Ori Fry, 64, the right tackle. All 3 of them played the same high school teammates in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, they all played at Providence High School. They all are guys that have been named All-SoCon at some point. But I'm going to give credit to Brad Hardy, the tight end H-back. He's been coming off the line and throttling people on the ends or the linebackers on the outside.
On 2nd and 7 for the 17th. Cadet inside the 5. Touchdown saving hit from Tyler West of Western Illinois. Explosive bolt almost to the end zone for Travaris Cadet.
It's almost like this App State team has finally woken up. You see Tyler West, a great tackler, but good job by Cadet running inside. Cadet
got stoned. He got belted to the ground at the 2-yard line. As in on that hit for Western Illinois was linebacker and DB Wyan Waldron.
The other thing, that was the first play on this drive where there were white jerseys on the other side of the line of scrimmage. This offensive line has come out as a unit. We saw them playing around after practice yesterday, after the walkthrough. Sure. Guys playing quarterback and receiver. They're good, close-knit bunch, but when they come to play tough.
Double tights, Jordan. The carry is to Devin Moore is in the end zone. Touchdown, Appalachian State.
Michael, you can talk about Daniel Kilgore, the tackle, Pat Mills, Brett Irvin, Matt Ruff, and Ori Fry. Look at all those guys along with the tight end pushing off the line of scrimmage. If you have 2 yards push on the line of scrimmage on the other side, as a running back, you will score that easily. 40 career rushing touchdown for Devin Moore.
You're right, 10th this season. As Moore on this 4th possession of the opening quarter gets Appalachian State on the board. I don't know. Jason Viteris not able to add the PAT. Yeah, it was partially deflected, but managed to get across the crossbar. Had it rerouted, but had enough juice, Charles, to get across that 10-foot crossbar.
They were very fortunate to get this done. That gives them 47 to 51 on the year. Right in the middle. You see Brandon Kretschmer able to get that big paw up. 51, but it still goes over. Better to be lucky than good, right?
Absolutely. Tied at 7 apiece. Holiday season, and Devin Moore and Travaris Cadet on this carry.
You know what they also did? Some adjustments there. You see the offensive line getting to the second level because there are 8 men in the box. Brett Irvin coming off his block. Ori Fry going to the linebackers, and they're handling the front line, going to the second level, making sure there's some running lanes for Devin Moore.
Well, there it is with the career rushing touchdowns, the 4th in the illustrious history of Appalachian State ball carriers. Tied at 7 apiece. And, of course, Charles, now this Jerry Moore's football team hasn't played in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They went down to Gainesville into the swamp and got beat by the Florida Gators 2 weeks ago today. #1 seed. Got the first round bye in the FCS championship run.
Sounds like he was a little upset with them when we talked to him, too. 3 hard days of full-go practice, which he normally doesn't like to do. He said he did it right away, let those guys have a break, let them get their legs, let them recover. But I think what it's done is it's taken a while for them to get their momentum back. But you can see on that drive, let's take the ball, let's run the ball effectively, let's not throw it if we don't have to, and let's let Devin Moore show us the way.
10-play, 59-yard drive that culminates in Devin Moore finding the end zone. All right, from the 9-yard line on the return is Bryce Flowers as Flowers blew his way through that special team hole, and we'll start Matt Barr in Western Illinois after we tell you about the 2010 NCAA Division I Women's Soccer Championship continuing with Notre Dame facing Stanford to take home the championship trophy. Tomorrow's final begins at noon Eastern, and check it out on ESPN3.com. Most impressive 59-yard, 10-play drive, all of it on the ground, led by DeAndre Presley in the run game of Appalachian State. So now back to Matt Barr, who threw the touchdown pass to Lito Senatus early on. The carry is to Carlton Ray, the Michigan State transfer. DJ Smith in on the hit, who wears number 9, that middle linebacker. Carlton Ray had a big year, though, running the football for Mark Hendrickson.
He really did, Michael. But the one thing that you have from this defense for App State, whenever you watch them on film, there's always 4 or 5 or 6 guys around the ball carrier.
Take a look at the numbers that we gave you that culminated in the Devin Moore touchdown drive. As we're inside 3 minutes left in this first quarter. Delighted to have you with us out of Kid Brewer Stadium in Boone, North Carolina. Barr's going to throw the fade. It was hauled in. Now, was that hauled inbounds by Justin Morgan? What a fabulous grab by Morgan, looking up at the snowflakes to haul in the Matt Barr throw.
And I think he got that, Michael. I think he got his feet down. It doesn't matter about instant replay because they don't have it this week in the FCS. I don't think he went out of bounds. He got his foot down and then caught the ball and went out. It doesn't matter. They can't overturn it. Look at that. Look at his footwork on the sideline.
Big play for Justin Morgan. Run that option sweep, and coming up to make that hit out of the secondary for Appalachian State was Troy Sanders, the sophomore out of South Carolina, and Carlton Ray.
The concern with Del Jones, the defensive coordinator, was we're not really concerned about the run. He said we're concerned about it because we have guys that'll fly to the football. My biggest concern is our secondary. We've been banged up. We have guys playing on that side of the ball that were at some point of this season on the offensive side.
Sanders for a stop of -3. Now gun that bubble screen. Justin Morgan made the grab and managed to slide his way inside the 45 to get yards plus back after Sanders made the hit on Carlton Ray. 3 catches already for Justin Morgan.
So much attention paid to Lito Senatus and Terrion Crump that you always have to have another guy, a guy that will step up, and 82 has done that so far today.
Bryce Flowers is in at the tailback, but as you see, they've emptied out the backfield. 5 wide now, 4 to the bottom of your screen for Matt Barr. Now Flowers will come back offset. That quick throw was dropped. It was on the hands of receiver Charles Chestnut, but he couldn't hang on.
And what App State is also doing, when they go empty, they'll come with the blitz. You see on the outside right there, Justin Ray, the linebacker, coming in. If he catches that ball, it's a chance to pick up the first down. You got to convert on those when you have the opportunity.
Now referee Todd Boyd was reestablishing the play clock. And on 4th and 6, having to boot the football away again is Chris Fox with Travaris Cadet deep. Fox hit it pretty well. Cadet says, let's get out of there, as that football will settle down at the 6-yard line. Very nice hit from the punter, Chris Fox. The Mountaineers of Appalachian State, Boone, North Carolina, Charles, in the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains. As we said, Jerry Moore, about 29 years as a college coach, had a couple of stints at North Texas and at Texas Tech before he came here as a head coach.
Yeah, and he coached under Hayden Fry, like we talked about at SMU, and coached at Nebraska under Tom Osborne. He is a guy that understands established winning programs, and he's done that here. Everybody thinks about this team from the Michigan game, but they had a lot of success before that as well.
DeAndre Presley, who featured the run game on that last drive that put points on the board for Appalachian State, will start with the carry for Devin Moore. Moore got a few.
It just looks like Devin Moore has that uncanny knack for when somebody's coming to him, slither away from him and continue to pick up yards. And it looks like the offensive line is now comfortable with their blocking assignments with this defense.
Now the football on the 11-yard line. Again, Devin Moore on the carry. Battles his way out near the 15. Once again, Dwight Harris, who wears number 93, and of course, Kyle Glazier, number 12, that middle linebacker on the hit.
When you're backed up right here, Michael, what you want to do is get 2 first downs, and then that allows you to throw the football a little bit. But with this weather being the way it is, you may need 3 first downs before you want to air it out some.
Well, watch for that. That's the final snap of this opening quarter. Very, very strong first quarter. Western Illinois with the defensive play and a sudden change. And then the Devin Moore touchdown run for Appalachian State. It's the move on to the quarterfinals of the FCS Championship. We're tied at 7. The 30 degrees and a couple inches of snow here at the Rock in Boone, North Carolina. Great to have you with us, Michael Rega, my partner Charles Arbuckle. 7-7 outstanding football game. Western Illinois, they wanted a sudden change, Charles. Yeah. They got it, and it got them a lead.
It did. Kyle Glazier, the guy we talked about, the Buck Buchanan Award guy, 154 tackles, but how he did it was catch the interception and give his offense a chance to score the football.
And how does DeAndre Presley and Appalachian State respond? Ground game with a heavy dose of Devin Moore.
It's good. When you have the ability to run the football, it gives your quarterback a chance to have those options. With this bad weather, it also gives you a chance to run the football, take your time, and when you have to throw, you must complete those throws.
All right, this is 3rd and 1 now in this 7-7 tie for DeAndre Presley. He tried to go back to the ground game, and they're going to have to punt the football away as Devin Moore absolutely got that swallowed up as the big star. And Western Illinois, Charles, last week against Coastal Carolina, they forced 5 turnovers, 4 of them in the red zone.
What you must do against this team is protect the football. If you turn it over, they will capitalize. It seems like that gives them extra momentum. That's how they played. That's how they've won. They haven't played well on the road, but last week had to give them some confidence.
Well, they'd love another 17-10 low-scoring type football game because they believe that that is something that benefits them greatly. And now having to kick that football from near his goal line was Sam Martin. Martin got a pretty fortuitous bounce and will settle down at the 45-yard line. That's where Matt Barr and the Leathernecks of Western Illinois will have the football. All right, Charles, look at this. 34 points a game plus for both football teams. Prolific offenses, as we know. And the turnover margins, always with excellent football programs, got to be on the plus side.
When you look at these teams in the mirror, if they were to look at themselves, they would think and see a lot of similarities. There's some differences, of course, but they do things the same way with tough, physical, hard-nosed football. They don't like to turn the football over, and they really want to make you pay when you give them that opportunity.
All right, so Matt Barr went 5 of 8 for 46 yards and a touchdown. Play action for Barr. He wants to air it out for Lido Senatus and almost had that picked off
by Mark Legree. You talk about a guy you don't want to challenge, and if you do, he will make you pay. NFL scouts love this guy because of his ability. He's a free safety, 6 foot, 200 pounds. You see him there in coverage, just running. They're going to bracket Lido Senatus. They're going to play him and make sure he doesn't do anything over the top. Mark Legree, 22 career interceptions.
You like that, though, Mark Hendrickson and his offense taking that shot with a football near midfield. Barr to put it up again. Got out of trouble. Matt Barr in open space got a flag down as Barr got tracked down around the 42-yard line by Appalachian State's Dominic McDuffie, but it's coming back.
Mike Lampier against John Reiser, right in front of the referee, was called for the holding. And that's the one thing Matt Barr can do. We haven't seen it so far today.
Holding, offense, number 65, 10-yard penalty, second down.
We talk to these coordinators, and offensively, they want to make App State pay, Western Illinois does, and then App wants to make sure they come after you and they rush you and don't allow Matt Barr to get outside.
Mark Hendrickson called the young man you just saw a moment ago wearing number 65, Mike Lamphere, 275-pound senior from Burr Ridge, Illinois, his best. Barr wants to go up top again. Gun middle, he got it picked off. Intercepted by Dominique McDuffie. McDuffie on the INT for Appalachian State.
Well, Matt Barr had pressure coming from the outside like we talked about, and those secondary guys are making sure that they're there. You see Dominique McDuffie right there reading his eyes. He just stays right in center field, goes to where the football is, and makes the play. But it doesn't come just off of what he does. It comes because Jabari Fletcher and John Reiser putting pressure on the outside. We saw that, Michael, in film studies. Sometimes Matt Barr will throw it a little high, and if you do that in the middle of the field,
no foul on the play.
It will make you have those consequences.
They're picking up the flag. There is no foul on the play. And that's interception number 4 for Dominique McDuffie, young man from Chattanooga, Tennessee, the sophomore. How about the safety tandem of Mark Legree with his 22 career picks and the sophomore McDuffie, Charles?
Possibility for Legree to be a 3-time All-American. That's only happened 5 times. Dexter Coakley and a few others along with that, but he could be the 5th one in App State history.
Now DeAndre Presley. Presley on the keep. Inside the 5. Touchdown. Did he get in? No, they're going to put him out at the 1-yard line.
Did you see the official? Initially, he called touchdown.
That's why I said it. He put the hands up.
He put his hands up, and then he reestablished that he was out at the 1-yard line. Once again, folks, no replay this week. It will be moving forward in the FCS championships. Let's take a look at DeAndre Presley. Michael, I think he...
the football was coming out of his hand, though. The football was out of his hand when he wanted to stretch it to the pylon.
He did a great effort by him. Good job by the official making the call right where he did.
All right, Travaris Cadet offset now with DeAndre Presley from the 1-yard line. Presley on the keep. Presley, touchdown. Put 6 on the board. Appalachian State.
Can you say sudden change for App State on that one? Dominique McDuffie became a running back, and then when they come back, he's able to just make it happen really quickly. That is DeAndre Presley. 2 runs, 1 long gain, and then a touchdown after that.
Oh, after falling behind on the sudden change interception of DeAndre Presley by Kyle Glazier. Appalachian State has responded now as Jason Viteris will add the PAT. A little bit more conventional this time. 14 consecutive points. DeAndre Presley got in the end zone for Presley. That's his 12th rushing TD of the year. DeAndre Presley in the end zone from 1 yard out after the big 21-yard run. Appalachian State with their first lead of the day. 14-7 over Western Illinois. Let's go inside the play with Charles Arbuckle and look at Dominique McDuffie.
Matt Barr trying to throw the ball there. McDuffie right there, not going to allow it. And he sees that he has man coverage, but there's somebody over the top, and that's McDuffie out of Chattanooga. You can see right there, he just stays back in the secondary, knows that there's a receiver coming at him. All he has to do is wait. They have said this all week, Dale Jones and his staff. They said these guys love to throw the football. Matt Barr does an excellent job of getting it down the field. But our safeties are so strong inside. That's where our strengths are. We're going to make sure they make plays.
We said his 4th pick of the year. Playing in tandem with Mark Legree and DeAndre Presley made it happen. A young man following up 4-time All-American Armonte Edwards, quarterback here at Appalachian State. Now this is Bryce Flowers on the return. Flowers will explode out over that 35-yard line and finally get bumped to the ground at the 39. So the drive will start in decent operating position for Matt Barr. Now, How does Barr respond and come back from his first sudden change adversity of the afternoon?
Well, they have to establish a run. I think that's the one area that Western Illinois has struggled. Either it's with Matt Barr, you have Carlton Ray, Bryce Flowers. Someone has to get the ground game going, just like App State did with Devin Moore.
Again, they beat Coastal Carolina last week in the opening round. Back to the run game, the stretch play with tailback Carlton Ray.
I don't like that.
How do you get the edge against a team that can run like Appalachian State?
Well, Appalachian State took the playbook and made it right. What they did is they ran up the middle. On that play, you're trying to stretch play, go outside, and it doesn't work against a team that runs very fast. From the front to the back, all their 11 guys can run to the football.
Loss of 3 for Carlton Ray. It's going to bring up a second down, and we'll call it 13 now. Look at the defense of Appalachian State just absolutely continue to swarm.
You have 3 guys that are Buck Buchanan Award finalists. Jabari Fletcher, number 54 on the end. You see him with the swim rip move, 54 there, just attacking. He's playing a grown man brand of football today, Michael. That's what you call grown man football. He, DJ Smith, and Mark LeGree, playmakers on the defensive side. Jerry Moore says, I need my guys to step up.
And that's why Jabari Fletcher will be a big leaguer when his eligibility ends at Appalachian State. The senior 270-pounder out of Atlanta. 3rd and 14 facing Matt Barr. Not enviable. To put it up. Crossing route. The catch is made by Terry and Crump. Crump dragging cornerback Troy Sanders. First down, Western Illinois.
Nice play by Terry and Crump. See him working inside, getting his body in between. Now, this is a big, strong, physical guy for this offense. A possession guy, but he averages 16.2 yards per catch. 6'3", 210-pound guy out of Country Club Hill, Illinois.
He made an 83-yard catch. Charles and I watched it yesterday. Went up and got the football at Coastal Carolina last week. 5 grabs for 102 and got a first down there. Back to the ground game with Carlton Ray. Ray maybe got a couple before he was met by Justin Ray. That young man, W-R-A-Y, the linebacker out of Covington, Georgia.
Jeremy Kimbrough was there also. Jeremy Kimbrough has learned under the tutelage of DJ Smith along with Justin Ray. Young guys, both sophomores, so you gravitate towards the senior who's won it all, done it all, and that's why they play so well on defense.
Well, we talked to some of the tremendous leaders of this football team at Appalachian State's walkthrough yesterday. Stay on the ground with Carlton Ray. He tried to cut back, and Bobby Bazo said, I've got you.
Yeah, but before that, Dan Wiley disrupted the play. He just takes it on and goes back. Big 97, and that's why that play has nowhere to go. Watch Big 97. You see him just manhandling. He's also bringing his grown man pass today. This offensive line is a little small for Western Illinois. And you can see those big interior guys. They were worried about the defensive tackles more so than anything because of their technique.
3rd down and 8, line to make it a 42-yard line. Let's see what Matt Barr dials up. Barr will fire the crossing route, and first down for Charles Chestnut. Chestnut kind of took a couple of quick steps toward the middle of the football field, and Barr delivered a strike to move the sticks.
Very impressive how Western Illinois answers every single time. They're not able to run the football. Okay, let's throw it. DJ Smith trying to come over. You can see over the top Mark LeGree. Matt Barr has not been phased. His receivers are making plays for him.
At the 35-yard line for Matt Barr. Quick pitch and catch as he'll fire. Terry and Crump, but Troy Sanders out of Chester, South Carolina there to put Crump on the ground.
Every time they've tried to run bubble screen or try to run stretch, this defense has been too fast for it. Whenever they challenge one-on-one, matchups or get guys in positions where Matt Barr can hit them running away from the defense, they do a much better job.
Now that attempt to hit that quick bubble screen cost Matt Barr and Western Illinois a couple, make it second down at 12. Now Barr under heat. Threw the football away, but he was not out of the tackle box. That's going to cost Matt Barr.
And good pressure by Justin Ray. And that is definitely a penalty there. But Barr showed some strength. Look at him. They said he's one of the most athletic guys on the team.
Intentional grounding. Offense. Number 4.
The line of thought is usually if you're in between the hash a lot of times and the ball has already been placed in the hash and you throw it from there, usually it's in the tackle box.
Yeah, and Mark Hendrickson now sees his quarterback. Matt Barr, the Walter Payton nominee, trying to improvise and give them an opportunity, which would have been at 3rd down and 12, but the line to make it the 25-yard line, it is 3rd and 25. It cost them 13 yards.
3rd and Asheville.
Asheville?
Yeah,
okay.
Going east. So.
Heading to the east.
Heading to the west, excuse me.
Barr got picked up. Intercepted by Demetrius McCray. Pick for Appalachian State's opportunistic defense.
What did we talk about earlier? You cannot make mistakes against a team like App State. You just can't do it. Their defense is rising up for them. And Matt Barr with an ill-advised throw earlier. Again, the ball was tipped there. Defensive tackles are key guys today, and it allows your secondary to make plays. Just a bad, poorly thrown ball, and it was 4 defenders over there anyway.
Now interceptions, Matt Barr on back-to-back Western Illinois possessions. DeAndre Presley cashed the last one in.
3rd and long like that, just take your time, live to see another day.
Presley will keep the football in open space. DeAndre Presley has come free and finally tracked down inside the 15-yard line.
You know, Michael, when talking to DeAndre Presley yesterday, he said, if I have a chance to run the football, I will be able to because there's opportunities there. He's got the ability with his feet. They're playing so many guys in the box. Western Illinois isn't fast enough if he gets past that first level.
Big play, DeAndre Presley now go back to the ground game and get those blocks from center Brett Irvin and Matt Ruff for tailback Devin Moore's but check it, it's Traveris Cadet. Cadet got inside the 10, got 5, call it 2nd and 5.
What did Coach Moore say yesterday? We need to get our quarterback in the rhythm. I think he's dancing pretty well. He hears the music very well right now.
Presley trying to find a cutback lane. Got a late flag from our referee today. Todd Boyd usually means a hold on the offense.
I thought there was some movement before the play, but they didn't catch that on Cadet.
Yeah, Todd Boyd signaling hold, and he's seeing what Mark Hendrickson, if he wants to accept the penalty or let the down box move. Well, head coach Mark Hendrickson, Western Illinois, being consulted with on what's the decision.
Yeah, they're making.
What do you want to go with?
Conference call on that one.
They either accept the penalty or decline it in the down box.
Well, he's getting his defense a chance to rest. This is a good football move by Mark Hendrickson. Take your time. I'm
holding. Offense 57. Penalties decline. Third down.
That's football right there. You take your time. You don't let it.
Gamesmanship, right? By Mark Hendrickson. Jerry Moore said, let's go. Let's play football. Right now, of course, Appalachian State gaining tremendous momentum from the 2 interceptions of Western Illinois quarterback Matt Barr. Trying to add to their 1-touchdown lead. 3rd down and 4 now. Presley coming middle. He got intercepted. Intercepted by Tyler West. West finally pushed out of bounds by Travaris Cadet. 2nd pick of DeAndre Presley today.
Tyler West, 3rd interception on the year, just reading his eyes. Presley did a good job of getting away, but he throws into coverage. And Tyler West, outstanding job of being alert, being aware of what the defense is trying to do. They try to throw to the tight end here, Ben Jordan, a lot in this area in the red zone, and he does a great job. He looks like the receiver on that play. Huge turnover for Western Illinois to capitalize on. Great job.
Charles, put a star by that with 7:09 left of the first half. Western Illinois' defense on their heels could have went down 2 touchdowns, and now they've got an opportunity to tie this football game up. They'll run the football on 1st down with tailback Bryce Flowers, who maybe got 1.
And think of that penalty. Think of them taking time. Think of them not rushing. Right there, you can see the 2 quarterbacks, Jamal Jackson and DeAndre Presley, very close friends. They had a quarterback battle in the spring and the fall. DeAndre won the position, but they're still close. But you can't make those mistakes in the red zone. We talked about Matt Barr with his on the last drive, and then DeAndre Presley right there.
2nd down and 9 for Matt Barr against this active, very physical Appalachian State defense. Flowers tried to cut back, middle linebacker D.J. Smith. Had some help as well from John Reiser. Reiser, the outstanding sophomore defensive end.
Well, when you have physical guys, usually they make some noise, and we can hear it clear up here. I mean, there's some pads popping. D.J. Smith in there, John Reiser. They know their strength right now is stopping the run game. And then 3rd down and long, this is where Western Illinois, other than that 3rd and forever, had a bad play. They've played well in this situation so far today.
Line to make it the 29 for Matt Barr. Let's call it 3rd and a long 8. Blitz coming. Barr in trouble. His throw came up short. It's incomplete as he wanted to find Charles Chestnut. Chestnut had some separation along that far boundary, but the throw came up short.
And what about Barr being able to get away from the pressure, just slide over there and get the ball down the field? Not enough arm. That's a hard throw for him to make. Actually, it's not as hard because he's a left-hander, just didn't get enough on the football.
Now you look at Travaris Cadet standing back at his Appalachian State 9-yard line. Get this boot from Chris Fox, who will hit it from the midfield stripe. And will angle it out of bounds. Very nicely done by Chris Fox at the 4-yard line to back up Appalachian State. However, Western Illinois not able to capitalize on this Tyler West pick. The Mountaineers lead it by 7. State in this winter wonderland at Kid Brewer Stadium with a football on top 14-7. Let's go inside the play with McCarter Charles Arbuckle.
Michael, watch the receiver Chestnut here. He's going to run a screen, but when he sees that everything is taken up, he's going to work his way up the field. And Matt Barr has pressure coming. You see the pressure right there. Makes him go outside. And look at Chestnut. If he's able to complete this pass, that could possibly be a touchdown. That's how close things can happen in the game of football.
Quarterback comparison, DeAndre Presley, nothing through the air yet. Of course, the two big plays, one of them the touchdown run, while Matt Barr, but both of them Charles picked off twice.
But that one interception changes field position. Look where now App State is as opposed to scoring a touchdown.
All right, DeAndre Presley out of the gun and will run the football with Devin Moore. Moore maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. As Western Illinois defensively, and again, the Bears repeating, they're coming off a tremendous performance last week in the opening round of the FCS championship run, as they forced 5 turnovers, 4 of them in the red zone, and beat Coastal Carolina 17-10. They forced 2 turnovers today of DeAndre Presley. That second down call, it's Presley. He's got the edge and outside the numbers for Appalachian State first down. Zone read.
It's at its best because Devin Moore has run the ball effectively inside. So DeAndre Presley knows he can work outside. You see how he holds the ball? Devin Moore has to just trust that if I don't feel the ball all the way until I'm past DeAndre, it's mine.
Yeah.
If he gives it to me, then I'm going to run with it. If he doesn't, I'm going to get up the field.
There it is, 3,000 yards in total offense, single season. Demonte Edwards, one of them, sensational with his run here. Devin Moore on the carry, on that first down carry. Maybe got one as he was trying to bob and weave. All right, on this type of surface today, and we've got a flag for a chop block, by the way. It's going to cost Appalachian State. Most would think the offense is most affected, but from a field being treacherous standpoint, defensively, aren't you at a disadvantage?
Especially in the passing game, because you have to, the receiver knows where he's going. We'll listen to this call.
Chop block. Offense. Number 71. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
And usually it happens with a high guy, when one guy goes high and another one goes low and they're engaged together. That's a chop block.
All right, Delaware's Blue Hens, the 3rd seed in a tight one with Lehigh. They're in the second quarter. Tubby Raymond Stadium. Wofford with a 7-3 lead on Jacksonville State. This is all the second round, of course, of the NCAA FCS championship. And just getting underway, New Hampshire, Bethune-Cookman today. 8 games on the docket, and we'll keep you up to speed on all of them right here. Appalachian State, the 14-7 lead on Western Illinois. This is 1st and 20. Quarterback draw. DeAndre Presley. Look out. Presley in open space. DeAndre Presley. Can he go the route? See you later. Touchdown, Appalachian State.
The toughest part for you to handle with the multi-talented quarterback is when he does this. Watch how he just calmly waits inside. Good blocking right there inside. Brett Irvin with a nice block. Also down the field, you need receivers blocking well for you. That was a good job by Blake Elder. But DeAndre Presley is a former wide receiver. If you give him any ounce or anywhere to run, he's going to make you pay.
That drive started at the 2-yard line. Presley had moved the chains on a quarterback keep, as adding the PAT is Jason Viteris. How about the afternoon for DeAndre Presley? 90-yard lightning bolt, got outside the numbers and said, I'm out of here to the house. Appalachian State fans enjoying, along with Joseph, the mascot. That young man, DeAndre Presley, longest playoff run in Appalachian State history. We spoke to him yesterday. What a delightful young man, Charles. 89 yards, got outside the numbers, and it was all over at that point.
Well, he mentioned it yesterday, too. I said, how many times have you lost here at Kidd Brewer Stadium? He had to think about it. And he said 2. And the reason why, he said the tradition, all the guys that come back, they don't want to be the team that doesn't play well. And he wasn't playing very well in the passing game, but we talked about it in the open. His ability to run the football, his ability to make plays with his legs.
And 3:45 left in the first half. And now how does Western Illinois respond? This is Bryce Flowers with a bobble from the 10. It's going to cost Flowers, who's had a couple of strong returns today, but that muff had that kick cover squad of Appalachian State coming after him hard.
What you must do now is find a way to get some points out of this drive. You cannot go in at half, I don't think, down by 2 touchdowns. Even if you can get in position to kick a field goal, which has to cut you down by about 10 yards because of the weather. But whatever it takes to march down the field, get Terry and Crump involved, get Lito Senatus involved. We haven't called Drew Health, the tight end, who has also made plays in the passing game as well.
Again, Barlow has been picked off on both of the last Leathernecks possessions, so they'll go to the ground game. And coming off the corner, it was Justin Ray, that linebacker, to make the stop on tailback Colton Ray of Western Illinois.
App State has just been determined to make Western Illinois one-dimensional. They're taking away the running game and forcing them to throw the football. And what's happening is Matt Barr has been able to complete some, but the last 2 drives they've been able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, the turnovers, just 10 on the year, a couple today. Matt Barr gunned that throw in traffic. That catch was made, but they're going to call it incomplete. It was momentarily put away, or seemingly so. And opportunistic Mark Legree, Charles, was right there on the hit.
He was like Velcro. As soon as the ball got to Charles Chestnut's hands, because Lito Senatus doesn't miss many passes, he was right there to knock that ball away.
Hey, this is big. You talk about a big 3rd down and a long 7 here. There's still 3 minutes left. And Matt Barr needs a hit to move the sticks here with his football team reeling somewhat. Barr on 3rd and 7. Pressure from the backside. That football's out. It is out and gotten on by Western Illinois as that right tackle Mike Lamphere got on it. But the Appalachian State defense is right now on fire.
Only rushed 3, and he had the ball way too long against Jabari Fletcher. You've got to get the football out, even with just them rushing 3, because Jabari Fletcher is so quick off that edge. Officials having a conference here, but you know they're making them now.
Charles, this is very, very critical here on a 4th and 24.
The problem also is Mark Holbert has Jimmy Holtzschlag working with him, the left tackle and the left guard. But Jabari Fletcher, just with such good technique, works outside. Doesn't allow the double team to even impact him on that play.
Western Illinois taking a timeout. Mark Hendrickson, there you see the head coach, who's done a tremendous job in his first season. For the last 11 years, he's been the offensive coordinator, and under his OC tutelage, they've had 7 of the top 10 scoring offenses in Western Illinois history.
They're only rushing 3, and you can see right here, these 2 guys have the double team on the outside. But watch Jabari Fletcher beat the double team. You know, and the double team is designed, if you're Matt Holbert, you want to force that back inside. You don't want him to just come all the way around, because Jabari Fletcher is too fast, too physical. With only 3 rushers, they still get the sack. Huge sack at this time of the game.
Charles, think about this. This is why we've mentioned it. 2:45 left in the half. Appalachian State's on fire defensively. DeAndre Presley is running wild, and they're going to get the football back in excellent field position. Already up 2 touchdowns. Fox has got to boot it out of there, and he will hang it high. Travaris Cadet from the 45 with a move. Cadet got swarmed on. 5-yard punt return. 2:33 left in the first half. Already up 21-7. Appalachian State, and looking for more. All right, coming up at halftime, Charles and I will give you a big look at what's going on around the FCS in the second round of the playoffs today.
What's the
Experts edition?
That'll be us.
That's
I'm
you.
here, but I'll be there too.
You are, yeah, by the magic of television. helmet stickers. How did helmet stickers originate? You know the programs that are, Appalachian State has their helmet stickers. The Mountaineers here. That first down call is to the tailback and getting an opportunity here to run the football. Cedric Baker. They've used 3 running backs today, Charles. Devin Moore, Travaros Cadet, and Cedric Baker. Baker, the junior out of Wilmington, North Carolina.
And we may also see Rod Chisholm also as well. But what they've done is Brett Irvin, Matt Ruff, and Pat Mills, those interior offensive linemen, have done an excellent job in this second quarter.
Give Baker 4, call it 2nd and 6. Straight run, DeAndre Presley. He'll weave back inside. He's got a first down as he powered his way inside the 30.
Did you see Brandon Kretschmer, 51, chasing? But DeAndre Presley is so fast, he's able to get away from him. And usually Kyle Glazer is on the front side making that tackle or forcing it back in. But this offensive line has handled 51 and 12 pretty well because their defensive front is just really getting pushed back into the linebackers.
Saw Presley stick that right hand into his hand warmer that he has got attached. He had that on at the walkthrough yesterday. Presley on the key. In open space looking for a block. DeAndre Presley inside the 20, run out of bounds about the 15-yard line. Move the sticks, first down, Appalachian State.
Huge block by Brian Quick also. But what you're going to see is Matt Steeren, number 9. You see him going in real hard, the white jersey, and when he does that, DeAndre Presley reads it and is able to come around the outside. The defensive end has to stay at home on the zone read. If he doesn't, you have those kind of gains by DeAndre Presley.
Western Illinois forced 4 red zone turnovers last week against Coastal Carolina. Oh, could they use one here as Cedric Baker got popped. Baker, that third-team tailback, got stood up by Terry Barney. Barney was getting a start today at the rover back spot.
This defense for Western Illinois has been on the field a long time also. And you can see App State is really milking the clock so they can try to score, but leave no time for Western Illinois as well.
60 ticks left in this first half, and Appalachian State in the red zone. Run that reverse. Run the reverse. Speeding to the outside. Now on the cutback is Tony Washington, the freshman out of High Point, North Carolina. First time he's been on the football field in this possession today.
Playmakers galore if you're Appalachian State. And Tony Washington, one of the young guns, making some plays, a freshman out of T.W. Andrews High School with a nice run. And DeAndre Presley out there trying to pick up a block for him.
Yeah, Presley, we've been very, very impressed. Of course, you look at the Buck Buchanan Award finalist, tremendous middle linebacker Kyle Glazer, but in both picks, Charles, that DeAndre Presley has thrown today, he's been the tackler that has ultimately run down first Kyle Glazer and then Tyler West.
Usually the quarterbacks say, I'm going to make an effort or an attempt.
Yeah.
No, he's going to make a tackle. And that's the biggest difference. He was studying film on Tom Brady and Peyton Manning on how their mechanics, not how they tackle guys after interceptions.
Charles, what we got to say, tell us again now is we met yesterday with Brad Glenn, the quarterback coach. When he first came in the program and made the switch from wide receiver to quarterback, he had a problem with his footwork and his base on his delivery. Break that down for him.
They liked him as a quarterback, but they got him here as an athlete, so he had to move. He played a little bit as a quarterback his first year, moved to wide receiver. But what he was even saying is, I had my feet too close together, so I had a longer stride, and when I threw, I was really long with my delivery. He said, I watched Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. I stretched out how I set. So almost like a baseball player, because he played baseball before. And he said, I'm able to keep the ball high and just deliver it a lot quicker.
Yeah, Brad Glenn, the quarterback coach, and Buck and I are baseball guys. He said, like a hitter, you know, front foot, foot up, foot down, foot up, foot down. And then your follow through with the throw. Now back to the ground game. Touchdown, Appalachian State. Cedric Baker on the carry has 3 unanswered TDs for the Mountaineers.
Big offensive linemen love this kind of weather. You know why? Because they can run the football. Look at this. No white jerseys are going to touch this young man ever on this play. and that's why he's able to run the football effectively. Good job there. Excellent blocking up front by those big guys.
Well, and that football came loose from Matt Barr on that third down play and cost them 15 yards, and they had to kick from the back end of the end zone. As Jason by Terrace adding the PAT, Charles. Appalachian State, see, this is, again, at Lenny's, they are just on fire, right, and have been for the last 18 minutes.
That's a proud program, Western Illinois, so don't leave. They're going to come back. They're going to play hard. They're going to play tough. They wouldn't have a name like the Leathernecks. But when you come into this environment, you come into a place where since 2003, they've only lost 3 games, 54 or 57. They love playing at the Rock. They have the #1 seed. So if you're going to come here, you better be ready to take some body blows and some power punches, or you're going to get knocked out. And I think Western Illinois is seeing that, what adjustments they make, because they've been behind before. They've played well. The problem is they haven't played well all the time on the road. So here's a chance for this ball club with Mark Henderson to grow up and App State to finish.
And the winner today, of course, moves on, as we said, to the quarterfinal round next weekend. And it's either going to be Appalachian State or Western Illinois will play the winner of Villanova, traveling down to Texas today to take on 9-2 Stephen F. Austin. That's the upper half of this bracket, where Appalachian State's the #1 seed. Bryce Flowers of Western Illinois with another attempt from the 12. Nice return. Bryce Flowers still alive along that Western Illinois sideline as he bounced off a couple of hits, and will have the Leathernecks in good operating position with the football at the 45-yard line. The problem is, Charles, 30 seconds left here in the first half. Down by 3 touchdowns are the Leathernecks of Western Illinois.
Well, whatever play you have in your playbook that is going to get you a lot of yards in short periods of time where it won't cost you turnovers, you better pull them out.
Now Matt Barr will gun that out, and he'll hook up with Justin Morgan on the catch. Got 6. Clock still moving though, and Western Illinois is out of timeouts. Can't stop it.
And it's taking them too long. This is usually a fast offense. They're taking too much time to get plays in and out. Maybe be content to not have any other turnovers and go into the half where they are.
All right, Matt Barr and the Leathernecks of Western Illinois decides not to step it again. We came on the air this afternoon telling you about the 2 Walter Payton nominees. The numbers, Charles Arbuckle, for the first half.
0 passing yards, but 177 rushing yards for DeAndre Presley. Matt Barr has not been able to run. They've made him one-dimensional, throwing the football, and the sacks also included in those negative rush yards.
So Matt Barr with a lot to try to get adjusted here at the half, as he and his Leathernecks of Western Illinois will have to try to find a way to rebound from a 28-7 deficit. All right, let's say hello to the ultra successful head coach of the Appalachian State Mountaineers, Jerry Moore. Jerry, you're down 7-0. Your defense was superb. How key were the sudden change, 2 turnovers that your defense created?
They were awesome. I mean, that's probably the turning point in the ball game at this time.
You know, Coach, when you look at your running game, you started really attacking them in the middle. What made you guys make that adjustment?
Well, we run the inside zone a lot anyway. That's us. We started off, we threw it a little bit, but we think, and then of course that opened up things where we get the ball outside.
Jerry, DeAndre Presley has been phenomenal with his ground game today. More coming to that in the second half?
We're going to do what we think we can do. You know, right now I'd say sure. Yeah, we like to run the football.
Jerry, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck in the second half. The Southern Conference Coach of the Year, and DeAndre Presley, without, as you said, Charles, no passing yards today, but on the ground, wow. Lights out. We'll come back and tell you more. Appalachian State, #1 seed, 28-7, halftime lead. Don't go away. Football tradition. That man Jerry Moore and the Mountaineers of Appalachian State.
He's ready to. He wants him to keep
Jerry
going.
Wants to play.
Well,
Yeah,
the other thing is you don't want to give up a big return right here. You want to come out at half and continue to dominate if you're App State.
All right, as you see, the grounds crews brought out all the heavy equipment to try to get the football field in better condition. We've got a little bit of sleet coming down now, as this is Bryce Flowers on the Western Illinois return for Flowers, his 4th return of the afternoon. Let's take a look at the numbers of the first 30 minutes of football. 291 yards on the ground for Appalachian State without any through the air.
That's the story. That and turnovers. Then what did Coach Hendrickson say? We've got to get our footing on defense. I'll tell you, App State, they ran the ball, the inside zone, very effectively. What adjustments did Western Illinois make on offense as well as defense in the second half?
And Western Illinois, Charles, just not able to run the football. 13 totes for just 26 yards. They'll start out of the eye behind quarterback Matt Barr. And this is tailback Colton Ray. And Ray maybe got one as he got stacked up. Ray not able to get started today. All right, about 3 inches of snow here in the Blue Ridge Mountain area in Boone, North Carolina today, Charles. Now though, sleet is in the forecast, and we just saw a trace of it a moment ago.
What did they say yesterday? Wait 5 minutes if you want to know the weather here. I agree with that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this northwestern mountain region in North Carolina. Barr off play action, and Jabari Fletcher got that big right hand and swatted the football out of the air, incomplete.
Throw your hands in the air and make the play on the ball. That's what Jabari Fletcher did. He said, okay, I may not sack this guy, but I'm going to do a very good job of staying on him, being athletic, and making a play.
As you just heard head coach Mark Hendrickson tell us, they needed to establish consistency and being able to find some plays in their offense to start the third quarter, and right away they're looking at 3rd down along 9. Matt Barr to throw. Guns that in route, should have been caught. Lido sent it to, had a chance to move the sticks and dropped it.
What did we hear on the conference call? He doesn't drop passes. I'm thinking when I see him running that dig route that he's going to catch the ball, they're going to get a 1st down, be 3 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. Nope. You got to have those plays in a game like this to get you back, get you some positive momentum going against a team like Appalachian State.
Chris Fox to boot it away. You saw number 7 in black, Travaris Cadet, standing at his own 31-yard line. Fox will hang it high. Cadet says, all you Mountaineers, get out of the way. From the 39-yard line is where the Mountaineers of Appalachian State will start this. Well, make it the 40. For that man, DeAndre Presley, who was absolutely phenomenal. 9 carries, 177 yards on the ground in the first half. Nice balance with the 2 tailbacks, Devin Moore and Travaris Cadet. They combined for almost 100.
Devin Moore was a huge spark plug for that ball club, and that first quarter, late in that first quarter, really kind of got him going.
First possession, 3rd quarter for DeAndre Presley, the Walter Payton Award nominee, and back to that ground game, and start with Devin Moore. Moore, one of the touchdown makers in the first half for Appalachian State.
And the problem with Western Illinois, they know it's coming, but every time Appalachian State runs that inside zone, they're still picking up 5 yards, 6 yards, 8 yards, 12 yards. I mean, they're just methodically marching down the field.
At 2 of the 3 Appalachian State tailbacks with TDs. Devin Moore, Cedric Baker, the other 2 from DeAndre Presley. And this again is Devin Moore, but he got stopped as that's Mike Steeran. Steeran wears number 9. Terrific outside defensive end out of Springfield, Illinois, the 230-pound senior.
And we talked to Coach Hendrickson. What was the one thing he said? He's a high motor guy. He said, does he have a Hemi engine under the hood?
Yeah.
I mean, he says yes. A little undersized, came in undersized at about 205 pounds, put on some weight, and has been an outstanding player, the leading sack guy on this football team.
Tough football player. Helped to lead the defense last week in the win at Coastal Carolina. DeAndre Presley, his first passing yardage of the day as he delivers that dart to Coco Hillary for the first down for Appalachian State.
You know, I've always liked this name, Coco Hillary, and what they do is they work it to DeAndre's strong side. Coco working out there, able to catch the ball. Easy throw. Give him something where he can work and get more comfortable. You're not going to throw a lot, but when you do, you need those short completions that get you first downs.
What a glittering year DeAndre Presley's had. Hit 63% of his throws for better than 2,200 yards and the 18 touchdowns. But today it's been about the legs. Now back to the ground game on that read zone inside handoff for Devin Moore. He got about 4. All right, Charles, let's go back and take a look at the brackets. The top seed, Appalachian State. If they go on to the win today, they'll play the winner of Stephen F. Austin and Villanova. The 4 and 5 seeds in the other half of the bracket, Montana State number 4, Eastern Washington number 5. That could be a colossal meeting if they're to win today. And then you've got the Blue Hens of Delaware, that number 3 seed. And down at the bottom, William and Mary, the number 2 seed. All right, that's 2nd and 7 now. This is DeAndre Presley, and he's free outside the numbers as he glides his way down to the 35-yard line. We are delighted you're with us this afternoon out of Boone, North Carolina. The Rock, it's called, Kidd Brewer Stadium, Appalachian State University. On a snowy, wintry afternoon, alongside my partner Charles Arbuckle, I'm Michael Regai, our producer Greg Logan, director David Tasca, and all of our terrific NCAA crew. We'll catch you up on some of those numbers, by the way, as well on the other games going on. Second round FCS. Presley to what the home run ball. It is caught. Brian Quick. Touchdown. Appalachian State.
The running game lulls you to sleep, and then DeAndre Presley able to go to the guy in the one-on-one matchup that they love to do on the backside. Brian Quick is a matchup nightmare. Keyron James did not have a chance on that play.
We spoke with Brian Quick yesterday. 6'5", 225 pounds out of Columbia, South Carolina. Charles, you called it beautifully. That's just catching at its highest point. Correct?
Apex. Make an apex catch. Go up and get it.
On to add the PAT, his 5th of the afternoon. Jason Viteris, DeAndre Presley. No passing yards at halftime. Hit Coco Hillary on the short cross and then got 6 on the board real quick with a touchdown toss to Brian Quick. They love it here at Kidd Brewer Stadium, and why not? Their Appalachian State Mountaineers are rolling up 35-7. Let's go back to DeAndre Presley sighting up this one-on-one matchup.
Look at how he goes up and gets the ball at his highest point. Basketball, basically. You become a rebounder, having played the receiver position from the tight end side. If the ball is up high and you have a mismatch in size, you go get that ball. And DeAndre Presley, not the best thrower in the world in these conditions, but the best possible spot. You can see Brian Quick, 18.2 yards per reception. That's a big play, guy. You know, 20 plus is called big plays, but if you're averaging 18.2, that means you got some that are 35. You got some that are 50.
Yeah. I'm very happy this young man made that adjustment and said, I'm going to get off the hardwood and get on the gridiron because, Charles, I think it might be a quicker way to play at the next level for him.
Definitely NFL scouts are interested in a guy that's 6'5", 220 who's become more physical.
Another kickoff return coming up. This is Bryce Flowers, his 5th return of the day. Flowers, not bad, out over the 30-yard line, but now, Charles Arbuckle, it is about Matt Barr and his Western Illinois offense. So remember, if you're just joining us, they went out to a 7-0 lead and have been hit with 35 unanswered. All right, Delaware, Tubby Raymond Stadium, the number 3 seeded Blue Hens up by 8 over Lehigh. They're in the 3rd quarter. Wofford at Jacksonville State. Wofford with a 10-3 lead. Wofford from the Southern Conference. New Hampshire from the Colonial Athletic on top of Bethune-Cookman at 14-7, and Georgia Southern with the early touchdown on the board against second-seeded William and Mary. That's what's going on around the second round in the football championship subdivision. Speaking of trying to find some offense, let's go back to that reverse Toledo Senatus. Senatus, Charles, as you said, dropped the football on what would have been a first down hit on their last possession.
You know, I thought that would have given them a third down conversion and continue the drive. So now they're trying to find different ways to get guys established in the running game. And Senatus has one rushing touchdown on the year. Very versatile guy and can do a lot of different things. So they need to get him the football. They need to keep the ball because every time App State gets it, they're going to kill clock.
Got 7 on the reverse and back to the ground game. And this is tailback Bryce Flowers and that tremendous Buck Buchanan finalist, number 9, DJ Smith. Smith came into the day with 126 total tackles on the year.
What did his coach say about him? He's a coach on the field.
Yep.
He says he lets him make adjustments. He makes sure guys get in the right place. I asked him, who's the most difficult young stallion? He said Jeremy Kimbrough. I love him, but I got to work with him.
Matt Barr on 3rd and short will wedge out about 3, and that'll move the chains. First down for Western Illinois. We talked to DJ Smith yesterday, and Charles, think about it. First thing I said to him, young man, you came onto this campus as an 18-year-old true freshman and right into the starting lineup and displaced a senior all-conference linebacker.
Typical smaller guy in stature for a linebacker position, but very agile, very mobile, can run to the football. Over 500 career tackles.
Matt Barr will gun that throw, and nobody home except the coaching staff of Appalachian State.
He was expecting Terian Crump to work outside. He went inside.
Well, speaking of linebacking alumni here, Charles, Dexter Coakley. How good was this search and destroy linebacker?
Oh, he was awful good, Michael. Not only in the run game, but the passing game, like a Tasmanian devil, always around the football.
Yeah, Dexter Coakley, one of the greatest that has ever, 1993 to 1996, one of the greatest defensive players in the history, the proud defensive history of Appalachian State. This is 2nd and 10, and this is Bryce Flowers, and he has come clean. Flowers on the boundary, and he's got a first down. Bryce Flowers working off the blocks of Mike Lamphere, the right tackle, and Gary Sumlin, the right guard.
And you need your guys up front to make those good blocks. You see the good block by right there, Lamphere, pushing out John Reiser, and it allows Bryce Flowers to get outside. They haven't had many long runs, and Flowers has been returning kicks. He finally gets his chance to get on the field and run the football.
There's the numbers on Bryce Flowers, a very productive back. Flowers on his 2nd consecutive carry before he got belted by Bobby Bazo on that hit.
He and Carlton Ray. Carlton Ray came in January as a transfer. Bryce Flowers basically had a gray shirt. He was at Army Prep. True freshman. Now he's a freshman here. Came right in, and these two guys have really given this running game some good opportunities and chances to make plays. Today they just haven't had that chance. The ball has been going. They've been turning the ball over way too much.
Flowers was huge. Caught a 34-yard screen pass in the game-winning drive last week at Coastal Carolina. Barr to float that fade up this near boundary and had too much on it. He wanted Terian Crump.
And it's not a problem today either, Michael, with the wind. The wind is pretty mild. It's not blowing a lot, but the slick ball and everything that you're trying to do to get it down the field, it's impacted not only Barr, but DeAndre Presley. You see the flag's not blowing there. Here's a chance if you're Western Illinois where you have to get something going in the passing game.
Big play here, 3rd and 6, trailing by 4 touchdowns. Flags fly, whistles blow just before the snap.
It looked like it was the whole offensive line. They work in unison. They were in unison on that one.
False start, offense, number 65, 5 yards, second down.
They could have called multiple guys. I know Lamphere was the first one, and usually those guys, when one goes, they all go.
Oh, yeah. run the zone blocking technique, which has been so very, very productive for that man, Mark Hendrickson. And again, Hendrickson was the play caller for the last 10 years and had 7 of the top 10 offensive seasons in Leatherneck's history. Barr will step up and go deep, and almost got picked off by Troy Sanders. The throw over the head of Lito Senatus.
Yeah, they just don't look like they're all together. Senatus not running the route where Barr thinks earlier in this drive. Terrian Crump runs a route where he thinks he's going outside. He goes inside. You know, you're so far behind that you almost have to play perfect football, Michael, at this point.
Yeah. When
you're this far behind.
Yeah, Charles, too, down by 4 touchdowns, 4th and 11 from the Appalachian State 34. Mark Hendrickson is going to get Chris Fox in. Let's see if he's going to kick it away. Yep, he will, and angle it for this near boundary. Another outstanding job. You better get your hands on that, though.
Well, he shouldn't, because he's oh, they did give it to him.
They got it inside the 1-yard line, but Charles, by backing up away from that football, k14 James, the outstanding cornerback, he almost let it get by him in the end zone.
Well, he was in the end zone. That's what's surprising, that they gave it to him, because watch what he's going to do. He's in the end zone, and then he's going to try to come. Does he get out in time to touch the football? He touches the football, and he's in the end zone. Yeah. That should be a touchback.
His feet are on the goal line, and again,
see, an official's not looking at his feet. You see, he's looking at the ball to see if the ball goes out of bounds. That should be 20 yards. Yeah, that's a oh man.
Jerry Moore not at all pleased with the decision that was made by the back judge.
And the officials telling him to watch the video, but look where he is. He's on the line. You cannot.
Be that as it may, Mr. Arbuckle, the football is at the half-yard line. DeAndre Presley, 5 yards in the end zone. And on that call, that first down call, on the carry is Rod Chisholm, the 190-pound sophomore, the 4th tailback out of Independence High School in Charlotte. So now we've seen the 4 tailbacks for Jerry Moore.
Yeah, Rod Chisholm also with DJ Smith from Independence High School in Charlotte. And they were there when that team was running and rolling.
Yeah.
Didn't lose many games. Didn't lose any games for a while.
All right, Chisholm got back to the line of scrimmage. Presley out of the end zone. Going to unload the home run ball, and Brian Quick had a hand on it, but it was struck up by k14 James, the outstanding cornerback. Brian Quick at 6'5", Charles, got a hand on that football.
Well, he just goes up, almost gets it with that left hand, can't quite bring it in. He's so long and athletic. k14 wasn't even able to turn around before he was able to reach out and almost pull that ball in.
So Mark Hendrickson tried to turn the field over, and if he can get a stop here, the Western Illinois head coach will be successful to have Presley kicking out of the end zone. And they're going to get their stop as Appalachian State will put the football in the hands of, again, the tailback we mentioned, Rod Chisholm, to bring up 4th down.
Once again, those 2 linebackers always around the football, Kretschmer and Kyle Glazier. You know, making tackles. That's what they do. That's their job.
Well, Myers Hendrickson, the punt returner, who hasn't had much work today against this prolific Appalachian State offense. To kick the football out of the end zone. And Myers Hendrickson for the 45, and he got upended. As making that hit, Brad Hardy. Hardy, that H-back who works along with Ben Jordan on that Appalachian State offense. When we come back, we'll take a look at the FCS championship lineage of Appalachian State. consecutive FCS championships here at Appalachian State 2006. Look at Kevin Richardson, 4 TDs to lead the Mountaineers over number 3 ranked UMass. Mountaineers rushed for 285 yards. Richardson 179 yards of that load. 28-17 win. The second straight NCAA Division I National Football Championship for the Mountaineers. Back-to-back national championship marked the 5th time the team won back-to-back FCS national championships, and the first since Georgia Southern equaled the task in 1999 and 2000. 28-17 as Jerry Moore and Appalachian State beat the Minutemen of UMass. 3 in a row, Charles. 3 straight championships. Appalachian State, you got to go back to the Army days to find the last time that was equal with the Black Knights of West Point. All right, so here's Matt Barr in the Western Illinois offense. Barr will come underneath, and he delivers a strike to wide receiver and leading receiver on this football team, Lito Senatus.
You know, you sometimes hear guys saying you throw a guy open. Well, Lito Senatus got into a position. Matt Barr kept looking outside, rolling to his left because he's a left-hander. And he kept looking outside, and then finally at the last second came in and made a nice throw to Lito Senatus.
Senatus, leading receiver on this squad, along with Terry and Crump, 2 big receivers. Now back to the ground game and run the stretch play with tailback Colton Ray. Ray was taken down by linebacker Justin Ray of Appalachian State.
Called Justin Ray's name a lot
today, haven't we?
Covington, Georgia, Eastside High School. 61 tackles coming into this game, But their linebacking core is about 4 of them. Brandon Greer, DJ Smith, Justin Ray, and Jeremy Kimbrough make a lot of those tackles.
This crowd still very alive on 2nd and 5. Play action, Matt Barr will fire the out route, and it was broken up beautifully by Demetrius McCray. He's already had a pick today as that cornerback got out and broke that up.
You know, he's secondary for App State. They do a good job of getting their hands on the football. That ball kind of flutters out there, and Demetrius McCray making sure that he doesn't allow Lito Senatus to get anywhere near it. That's a long throw. He was almost on this hash, throwing the ball all the way back over to the other side of the field.
That's a 20-yard throw by yardage, but turns into a 35-yard throw from one hash to the outer boundary. Barr out route again, and had too much on it as it was incomplete over the head of wide receiver Todd Spade.
You know, Barr he just hasn't gotten comfortable since that first drive, or when we saw him really looking more and more comfortable. He hadn't been able to run the football where he's been lights out this year, and they've really made him stay in the pocket. You know, we talked to App State. They said they will not let him get outside. If he does, he is so dangerous.
4th and 5. Got to move the sticks when you're down by 28. This crowd at the Rock is still very much into it. Barr got to step up with green and white in front of him, and he's got a first down for Western Illinois. Yeah, a lot of green, a lot of real estate, but of course with the snow accumulation on it. But Matt Barr's got a first down to keep Western Illinois on the move.
And that's what you need. You need to move those chains, whatever it takes. And what you have to do is not look at the scoreboard and say it's 35-7. Just keep playing each play and making sure that you get some positive yardage each play, and then hopefully some of them will break for long games.
Charles, this is an offense that has averaged 34 points per game. Colton Ray on the carry, and Ray got tracked down for the backside by Dan Wiley, who wears number 97.
But you know, it's interesting. The Mountaineers said, hey, we played Florida. And
yeah,
when you play Florida, the speed of their tempo, of their no huddle, or their no huddle and their spread offense really got us prepared for a team like Western Illinois, who's trying to go all up tempo this year, but really haven't been able to because they haven't held the ball long enough.
Yeah, the Mountaineers got beat 48-10 at the Swamp in Gainesville the last time they played 2 weeks ago on November 20th. And this is Colton Ray again, young man from Southfield, Michigan. Played in 4 football games as a redshirt freshman for Mark D'Antonio at Michigan State back in the 09 season.
Too many backs there, though. You're looking at
Le'Veon Bell.
Bell now, Edwin Baker. The list is endless on guys ahead. What about Mark D'Antonio and the job that he's done this year?
Tremendous.
And won't get to a BCS game because Ohio State and Wisconsin, possibly. Ohio State and Wisconsin are both above them, so to speak.
Sparty Nation not at all happy about that, Mr. Arbuckle, either. Play action, Matt Barr. Barr got a trigger end zone. Had his hands on it, did Leo Senatus, but it was broken up with a flag on the back end of that. Maybe contact from Troy Sanders.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to call Troy with pass interference. Thought Lito had a chance at it.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 31. Ball be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Lito Senatus working the play action, gets the linebackers up, and it's one-on-one. Troy grabbing them there, and then just really never turning around for the football. So good call by the officials.
The crowd, of course, here at the Rock reacting as the play went up on the video board.
They have a nice video board there, so everybody turns every time there's a play to look and see what's going on.
This Kid Brewers Stadium that seats 23,000. Of course, they'd had close to 30,000.
Correction, the ball be placed at the 3-yard line. Previous snap was at the 18. The ball be placed at the 3-yard line.
Snowy, wintry first Saturday in the month of December. As what a scenic, absolutely gorgeous venue this is. Nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains here in northwestern North Carolina. All right, first and goal from the 3. Colton Ray. He got absolutely blown up. DJ Smith had some help from his linebacking pal Jeremy Kimbrough on the combination hit.
He's taught Kimbrough well. Very similar guys in stature and how they bring it. Watch 33 right there on your screen in the middle. He and number 9 converging on the ball carrier. That's what you have to do. Your linemen take care of the offensive linemen. You come in and you fill the hole.
Out of the eye now on second and goal from the 2. Run option. Colton Ray will cut back in the end zone. Touchdown, Western Illinois.
Good blocking on the outside there by Drew Help. You're going to see just running the option like you said. Michael, and good blocking, really outside by Rick Richardson, big 48. The fullback does a nice job of creating that pressure point. And Colton Ray able to score the touchdown.
Well, for Colton Ray, his 9th touchdown carry of the year. And now on to add that point after touchdown. That is right there for Western Illinois' Pat Smith. All right. Run that option. Good decision. Matt Barr, Colton Ray to the end zone. 35-14, Appalachian State. Championships, a vital part of the landscape here as we head toward the holiday season. Second round as Western Illinois got on the board and now trails 35-14. All right, a lot of people ask us what's the difference is FCS football championship subdivision, Charles, versus FBS football bowl subdivision. Thought we'd lay them out. First of all, championship in this championship run with 20 teams heading into the tournament.
Was 16 before, now 20, and I think the FBS schools and a lot of people around there are saying, why can't they have the same thing? But you can see the scholarships that are different also. FCS has up to 63 scholarships as opposed to FBS 85. They only travel, I think, 60 in the FCS.
Right, correct. As you look at Colton Ray, the touchdown maker for Western Illinois. And as we go into the fourth quarter, we'll discuss a program, Charles, like Appalachian State and what the future may hold for Jerry Moore and his Mountaineers.
You know, and Montana had talked about the potential of moving from the FCS to the FBS level. Well,
back in that deep spot and handling the football is Roger Walker. on that kickoff return to the 30-yard line. So Walker has gotten some work today. They have Appalachian State has wanted to keep Traveris Cadet away from the kickoff returns today, and Walker has stepped in for him. But Cadet has had a good day in that backfield in combination with DeAndre Presley. And
Coach Moore talked about it. He said it was good for us to play Florida, but the timing of it might not have been good. But the bye that they had, them winning the first seed and having a bye, was very, very helpful for his ball club.
From the 30-yard line now for DeAndre Presley. And this is Cedric Baker on the carry. Baker got a couple before that Buck Buchanan Award candidate, Kyle Glazier, put a hit on him. Well, Cedric Baker got two, let's call it second down and 8, as we're inside the 3-minute mark here in quarter number 3.
You know, Kyle Glazier, with the ability always to be around the football, is almost a magnet guy. The ball has a magnet in it. He finds that magnet body to ball all the time.
Second and 8. Presley keeping the football into the second level. He's got a first down. The sparkling day continues for the Walter Payton candidate, DeAndre Presley, the young man from Tampa, Florida.
Looked like he took a shot at the very end, but able to get up. But what he's able to do is really, really be effective inside. You know, and once again, Mike Steering, the outside end, if he comes in and he keeps the ball, DeAndre Presley, that makes sure that he's able to just run around that.
Presley again outside the numbers. Look at the speed. That's that burst, Charles, to be able to get to the edge and step out of bounds, as Presley got 8 more.
Everybody else looks like they're running, struggling to run. Watch how fast he's able to get outside. Real speed there. To the defense, they can't get to him, but he's able to just run like he has all weather terrain tires on, and they have on the stuff that's going to make you slip.
And whatever it is that he's got on the tires today, it has been the right mode of transportation, hasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, everything he's done as far as the run game has been very successful.
Delightful young man as well. Now go back to the ground game, and bursting through that seam is Cedric Baker. Running tough is Baker. And listen to the crowd at the Rock. They love the toughness of their Appalachian State Mountaineers.
You know, interesting point, too. Jerry Moore had been with Urban Meyer to learn the spread offense. And this year he didn't go visit them in the spring. Before that, quite a few times he went down there. So you can see the spread. They're different spreads, but he says all the principles and everything, we try to emulate what Florida does in their spread offense, and having Amani Edwards and now DeAndre Presley doesn't hurt you.
Now motion from Brad Hardy. Again the call to Cedric Baker. Baker, who is the 4th tailback that they've used today. All right, Charles, let's take a look at this drive chart for DeAndre Presley and friends.
Well, that one on 4, 89-yard touchdown, all on DeAndre Presley. Rush touchdown, rush pass touchdown, and then they punted. But they had really gotten going on their last 4 possessions.
Again, Cedric Baker on the call, but he got tracked down from the backside by Mike Steering on the strong tackle.
Look how methodical now App State is. They're taking their time, using the clock. I said they would do that. They're going to kill this quarter. They're going to the 4th quarter now. They want to be in position to finish the ball game.
45 minutes of football just about in the books, as DeAndre Presley and the top-seeded Appalachian State Mountaineers have not been affected at all by this, what was a winter wonderland of snow and now sleet here at the Rock. Appalachian State with a 35-14 lead, 4th quarter. Next. Top seed in the football championship subdivision, Appalachian State on top after 3. Michael Regai, Charles Arbuckle. What a dazzling offensive performance it's been by the Walter Payton nominee, Appalachian State quarterback DeAndre Presley. Charles, 207 yards on the ground, averaging 17 yards a toe. Good.
Well, when you have an 89-yard run, that doesn't hurt your average. But also all those things that are equaling up. He's able to find on the zone read opportunities. He's really got a rhythm. Jerry Moore said, I want him to have a rhythm. I think he's dancing, Michael. He's going to be dancing all night to whatever music it is. Because with that ability to run the football and get outside, have your blocking, you are going to be successful.
Oh, baby, has it been sweet music so far. DeAndre Presley thought about putting it in the air, but he got dragged down as Presley was hit. Let's take a look at the numbers today. And, of course, he hit the big touchdown throw on that corner throw to Brian Quick. You know, Armonte Edwards, so sensational here, Charles. A 3-time All-American. Fair to compare DeAndre Presley to Armonte Edwards?
Very fair, but very different guys. Armonte was more of a loner. He played on the field. He was a quiet guy. DeAndre, very vocal, very outgoing. Everybody knows him. So differences in how they are, but very good leaders in their own right.
Jerry Moore just absolutely. He spent a lot of time talking about Armonte Edwards to us yesterday as well. Now the third quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, as that punt is going to settle out of bounds inside the 20-yard line from Appalachian State. But, Charles, yeah, you know, it is something that is worth talking. And who knows, you know, maybe Armonte Edwards is going to get a shot before the season's up. The third-round pick, again, to get a little bit more elongated quarterbacking duties for John Fox's Carolina Panthers.
Coach Moore was, you know, saying, hey, clearly he wished Armonte would get a chance. He said, I can't control what they do. All I know is what he's been able to do here in his career shows me that if you just give him a fair chance, whether you run some wildcat with him, whether you let him throw the football, he is a playmaker. So, you know, he didn't want to go against Coach Fox, but clearly he's standing up for his guy.
DeAndre Presley, his guy now, and who knows, maybe the Walter Payton Award winner coming up this week. Bring some gadgets out now for Matt Barr. Well, he was looking deep, but in triple coverage was Lito Senatu, so he had to dump that off and intend it for Rick Richardson. That fell incomplete.
The best drop you can have, because Rick Richardson would have caught that ball and he probably wouldn't have gained any yards. With the drop, they go right back. They covered that very well. 3 guys on him in the secondary.
Yeah, we took a look after that on the toss back from Richardson to Barr. Took a quick peek at Lito Senatus, who's in triple coverage. With 3 secondary defenders for Appalachian State. Now busting out and through that crease is tailback Colton Ray. Biggest ground game of the day for the Leathernecks of Western Illinois.
If you're App State, you better not let these guys get back in the ball game. I see a sense of urgency from Colton Ray. I see that offensive line now starting to really open some holes. They're gashing this App State defense. In Western Illinois, you know the Leathernecks are not going to quit fighting.
Colton Ray had a couple of big performances this year, including a 100-yard plus ground game against Northern Iowa that helped propel Western Illinois to the FCS playoffs. And Ray's got another big game to move the sticks there into Appalachian State territory.
Yeah, and Appalachian State is now making some adjustments on defense, getting some different guys back in, some of their starters. They rotate a lot of guys, but when you give up 2 long runs like that, Dale Jones, the defensive coordinator, looks at the clock and says, hey, we don't need them to have any life.
Play action for Barr. He'll gun that out route, and it was incomplete as he wanted to hit Lito Senatus. Troy Sanders in coverage.
And that's a tough route for Lito Senatus. He couldn't get his body down. And, you know, remember when you were walking in, how slick it was.
Sure.
It was just an example there. He couldn't run that out effectively. Barr's throwing the ball before he breaks. In normal conditions, it may be a completion. But in today's weather, he couldn't get it to him at all.
Charles and I were coming down the slippery slope today, and the 2 old football guys said, stay on your toes, get off your heels, stay up on the balls of your feet. Matt Barr will fire that throw, and it is caught as he drilled the out route to Troy Spate. Spate made the catch as he's been getting some reps today in the 4 receiver looks for Western Illinois.
And I'd venture to say Western Illinois is going to go all hurry up here. They don't have a lot of time to mess around with the clock, and everything is precious. Almost perfect football when you're this far behind.
Well, Matt Barr has had a huge year. And throwing for over 3,500 yards. He'll throw the bubble screen to Lito Senatus. Senatus got spun down by Mark Legree.
Good block by Justin Morgan, but a great one-on-one tackle by Mark Legree. You're going to see Justin Morgan blocked up. And look at him. He's got a good block. But Legree, that's why he's a potential 3-time All-American. Corey Lynch also had played safety here. Dexter Coakley. It's a lot of guys that have come through this Mountaineer program. But when you see Legree, you know why the scouts are also here looking at him as well.
6'2", 205 out of Columbus, Georgia is Mark Legree. Colton Ray, good cut inside the 25 now, and that's a first down for Western Illinois, as Colton Ray has ripped off 4 substantial runs on this drive.
And they really are keeping it inside the tackle box. They're really trying to attack in that area. And Colton Ray or Bryce Flowers, whoever's in there, is running the football, and they're running it downhill.
Definite rhythm now being shown by Matt Barr and his Leathernecks offense. The first down call is Bryce Flowers. Flowers looking for a little bit of a seam. It was there until DJ Smith closed it up. DJ Smith, 49th consecutive start.
You know, you think everything's blocked up. Even Bryce Flowers thinks I have a chance, and then you have a flow and fill guy with DJ Smith. He flows to the football, and then he fills the gap, makes a nice tackle.
235-pound leader of the defense for head coach Jerry Moore. 2nd and 8. Barr looking end zone. And it'll fall incomplete as he was taking a peek at Troy Spate. It'll bring up 3rd and 8.
That's another pass where we see a guy that's kind of running free, but Barr can't connect. We saw that in the first half. Those missed opportunities that will get you or give you a chance to get right back in this ball game.
12 for 30, so of course the percentage way down today for just 102 yards.
A couple of drops, also a few drops today hasn't helped his completion percentage.
Again, the crowd at the Rock urging their Mountaineer defense on. Be a 3rd and 8 for Matt Barr. We're going to gun end zone for Senatus. Threw the football exactly where it had to be. Senatus couldn't catch up to it. All right, let's continue to take a look at the brackets today. 8 games today in the 2nd round of the FCS championship. Wofford now with a lead over Jacksonville State. Good one going on as number 2 seed William & Mary trailing Georgia Southern. Delaware extending the lead up at Tubby Raymond Stadium. 42-13 over Lehigh, and New Hampshire and Bethune-Cookman also even at 14 apiece. Those are the ones that are in action today. 8 games all over the football championship subdivision today. Barr feeling the heat. They get out of the pocket. That's a tough throw back to the middle of the football field. And falling incomplete.
They've dialed up the pressure at the right times App State has, and it's not allowed Matt Barr. They've marched down the field on this drive, and then the minute he felt a little comfort level, they didn't let him do it. Not at all.
So Matt Barr has got it in his offense. Will turn it over on downs. 35-14 Appalachian State. Here at the Rock in Boone, North Carolina. Appalachian State with a 35-14 lead in 2nd round FCS action. I want to remind you the 2010 NCAA Women's Volleyball Regionals. They take place 2 weeks from today, Saturday, December 18th, from Kansas City, Missouri. Coverage of the final, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2, high definition, or ESPN3.com. Michael Regide, Charles Arbuckle with all of our terrific NCAA production team here in the Blue Ridge Mountain Parkway area. Let's now run this The sweep for Appalachian State as being bounced out of bounds is Rod Chisholm. Chisholm started offset and then tried to follow the blocks to the right side of that offensive line. And Matt Ruff, the right guard, Ori Fry, that right tech. Ben Jordan's done a very nice job today. Hadn't caught the football, but I know you love the tight end being able to stick his nose in and get some blocks.
Well, you have to. Brad Hardy and Ben Jordan have played a key role in this running game along with this whole offensive line. That gives you a chance to run the football effectively.
Chisholm got 3 on that reverse, and this is DeAndre Presley. Well, Presley was he ran in to Pat Mills, his left guard, who was coming from the backside to try to give him a block.
The guys in film study are going to kill Pat Mills. Why did you? Because he was online. They had something going. When Pat goes over and hits his own man, usually you see friendly fire on defense, not offense.
There they are. Daniel Kilgore, that left tackle. Pat Mills, who wears 71, the left guard. Brett Irvin, the center, and Matt Ruff, number 70, that right guard, and Ori Fry, the right tackle. They had Charles and I cracking up at the walkthrough yesterday. DeAndre Presley is no joke. He's outside the numbers, and he is absolutely free again, but got dragged down inside the 20-yard line by Terry Barney as DeAndre Presley approaches 300 yards rushing today.
That was some ESP right there. Explosion, speed, and power, and then also the bayou ability. Watch him get by the line. The linemen have those guys blocked up. He can see it, and then he runs by all of them. And that's what's so key. DeAndre Presley just having a phenomenal game on the ground. Western Illinois has no answer to it.
This is Rod Chisholm now as Presley will work his running backs. DeAndre Presley, as we said, we'll update it here in a moment, approaching 300 yards on the ground today as you see the snow and sleet continue to come down. There it is on the year, and a rush offense for Appalachian State, close to 400 yards on the day. And they were 14th all over the football championship subdivision during the regular season, Charles.
When you run for 309 yards and that's all you really can do and the team can't stop you, you're going to win the ball game. And your offensive linemen, I said it earlier, they want to be moving forward. They don't want to be pass setting if they don't have to, because they know if they get a push with these guys that are explosive as they are, all they need is a crease. And that's all DeAndre Presley is needed. That's all Devin Moore, who kind of started this going for him. Travaris Cadet and Cedric Baker, along with Rod Chisholm now.
Presley's day today is kind of remindful of what we saw from Denard Robinson.
Yeah.
Michigan Wolverines quarterback, and Rich Rodriguez's spread offense this year. Cam Newton, of course, too. Terrell Pryor. As DeAndre Presley will take a little bit of a seam and power his way inside the 10. He's not afraid to take hits either from linebackers, is he?
No, and he doesn't take a whole lot of direct hits. And Michael, the point that you just made is key. If they know a guy can throw, which today they haven't had to, but DeAndre Presley knows where the soft spots of the defense are, and he keeps seeing them. And with 8 men in the box, now 9 men in the box, if he gets past the first level, he's really running scot-free because there's nobody to account for him when he gets by that initial wave of defenders.
He's had an 89 touchdown yard run today. He's gone in from 1 yard out as DeAndre Presley. This is Rod Chisholm. Broke a tackle at the 5. Powered his way down to the 2. As Appalachian State looking to find touchdown number 6 on the afternoon.
You know, there's been some talk. They're doing a feasibility study, Appalachian State is, to see if it's feasible to move up to the FBS level. And I know Montana just decided not to. Interesting enough, Montana's not in the championship playoff this year. They were knocked out by Montana State. But there's some studies there, and Villanova are both looking at that as a possibility for both of these programs.
Be fascinating to watch. Rod Chisholm in the end zone. Touchdown from 2 yards out. The 5th rushing touchdown of the day for the powerful powerful Appalachian State ground game.
Coach Jerry Moore talked a lot about Rod Chisholm. He was excited to get him in, but you see again, look at those black and gold jerseys, just powering up front. Look at that. Brett Irvin got his man locked up, 57. See Brad Hardy with the last block. They are personal protectors for whoever's running the football today.
They are now over 400 yards on the ground today, approaching 500 yards of total offense. As on to add the PAT once again, Jason Viteras, Rod Chisholm joining DeAndre Presley and Devin Moore as touchdown ground gainers today. 42-14, Appalachian State on top of Western Illinois. I'd like to salute our camera operators that have been exposed to the elements today. Hey, Bob, terrific job. Low end zone, waved everybody. Nice stuff. And how about our handheld guy? He likes playing in the snow. Great job, Bert. Way to make it happen. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. Now, here's the guys that, should take their check today for their work, from behind, because these guys, the game camera operators and our ISO cameras, they're up under cover. Charles Arbuckle.
We've had some great looks as well, and I'll tell you who else has done a very good job. The Appalachian State facility managers. They've done a good job of keeping these things clear where you can see the line, but our camera crew, kudos to them today because they've just done an outstanding job.
416 yards on the ground for Appalachian State. I mean, they've only thrown for 47, so 463 of total offense today, while their defense has been absolutely superb. This is the 6th kickoff return of the afternoon for Bryce Flowers of Western Illinois, and he'll get dragged down at the 27-yard line. The Leathernecks of Western Illinois, what a proud football tradition. Aaron Stecker, of course. There's Brian Cox, now the defensive line coach of the Cleveland Browns. Eddie Hartwell. How about Rodney Harrison, Charles?
I mean, it's so many different guys you can talk about. Brian Cox and Rodney Harrison are tough. I mean, when you think about Western Illinois, you see those guys that show up. And Brian Cox, I played against him when I was in Indianapolis twice a year. And every time we played him, Michael Ball, who was a special teams guy, and Brian Cox would fight every single time. Every game. I'm not lying to you.
You knew it was coming, huh? Carlton Ray tried to get out the backside, and Ray got taken down. A lot of now second teamers on the depth chart out on the football field for Appalachian State defensively.
And if Brian Cox was in this game right here, he would still be talking too. He talked the whole game, and then after the game, you come over and talk to him like it was a whole different guy.
Hell yeah.
He is a good dude. On the field, he's a different guy. And Rodney Harrison the same way. Very physical, play you hard. And then after the game, it was, hey, let's move on.
No Coach Cox very well as he's now on Eric Mangini's staff of the Cleveland Browns. Troy Spate got blown up by Brandon Greer. Hard-hitting, 225-pound sophomore backer. He wears number 24 out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
You got to also tip your hat to Mark Hendrickson and what they've been able to do in his first year as a head coach. After going 1-10 and now coming back 8-4. They hadn't been in the playoffs in quite a bit of time. And now they are. And I think this team has understood what it's going to take to win their conference and now know what to expect when they play teams like App State moving forward.
Matt Barr on 3rd and 10, going to load it up and air it out. Almost had that picked off again, as having really to play defensive back was Justin Morgan. Morgan did a very nice job, or Demetrius McCray would have had his second pick of the day.
Yeah, he went up and tried to take the ball away. Good job. Some receivers you see give up on that. Good job by him of going up and making sure that the defender doesn't catch it. Although, with them getting ready to punt, he would have caught it, been down, and it would have been just like a punt. It's just one of those things where it's been a long day for Matt Barr and his team, but I think they're starting to understand now what they have to do moving forward and as a group. And he's a senior, but all these other guys that'll be around will understand now what it's going to take to win when you get to this round of the playoffs.
Program is in very, very good hands in Macomb, Illinois, with Mark Hendrickson. This football is fielded on a hop by Appalachian State's return man, Tony Washington. Big lead for the Mountaineers. We'll be right back. And a day like today, I guess we should call him Skeeter Claus, right? Braving the elements too, Skeeter. Nice work. Thank you for showing us all the terrific pictures back in 2007. The third of the 3 consecutive Appalachian State FCS championships occurred. Hey, that was Joe Flacco. Now the Baltimore Ravens, under center, led Delaware's Blue Hens in the championship game. Kevin Richardson led the way for Appalachian State. 111 yards rushing, 27 yards receiving. Sophomore quarterback Armonte Edwards, 198 yards passing. Touchdown throw here, 89 yards on the ground for Armonte Edwards. 3 TD passes. Mountaineers ran away 49-21, beat Flacco. And the Delaware Blue Hens became the first NCAA Division I program to win 3 consecutive national titles for Jerry Moore. Army last accomplished the feat in 1944. 1945 and 1946. And that is a long time ago. As you look at Jamal Jackson now. Jackson, the backup quarterback, the true freshman out of Atlanta. That was Cedric Baker on that first down carry.
He almost had a chance to win the starting job.
Yes.
For this Appalachian State football team.
What did quarterback coach Brad Glenn tell us yesterday? They were right there even. Jamal Jackson and DeAndre Presley coming into summer camp in late July.
And that's where DeAndre said, hey, he did a lot of film study, really wanted to figure out. He said, I will come out to the field and just not even have anybody to throw to, but if I did, Brian Quick would join him out here. And then Jamal Jackson, and he really, in that battle, became very good friends as well. And now they're very close friends. And he's going to help this young man develop as a quarterback as well.
They're down at 4 for Jamal Jackson, true freshman out of Atlanta. Straight quarterback keep for Jackson. He's going to get taken out of bounds at the midfield stripe, and that'll bring up a 4th down. And Appalachian State will kick the football away.
And the one thing the coaches will get on Jamal about is staying in bounds, keeping the clock moving. When you're this far ahead, if you get tackled there, you'll get more clock off, even if you're punting.
Sam Martin, there's Martin, wears number 27, trying to clear some space so that he could see some green to get a good landing spot.
He was trying to win an Academy Award earlier in the game when he went down.
Very first series of downs of the game.
We haven't seen many punts, so we haven't had the chance to give him kudos for that acting job.
Myers Hendrickson back to return it. Oh, Martin hit a beauty. Hit a beauty, but it's going to take that big hop and head into the end zone. So Sam Martin. That non-returnable job, but into the end zone. All right, let's continue to take a look at our second round of our FCS championship bracket. Those Blue Hens of Delaware we just showed you. Big lead up at Tubby Raymond Stadium now as they'll move on. Wofford, they're going to pull a surprise on the road up 3 at Jacksonville State. New Hampshire on the road, beating Bethune-Cookman by a couple of TDs. How about this? Second-seeded William and Mary up 15-14 over Georgia Southern at halftime. Now underway in Montana. North Dakota State first touchdown on the board against 4th seeded Montana State.
And that this App State team beat Wofford November 13th, 43-13. Those SoCon rivals.
Yeah, big one. Big win there as Colton Ray with a burst who's got a 15-yard run on first down for Western Illinois.
We talked about that yesterday. Georgia Southern had beaten Appalachian State. They had a close game, or thought it was going to be a really close game against Wofford. They blow them out, then go to Florida. Lose doesn't have anything to do with the setting here, because if you lose to an FBS team, it doesn't hurt you. If you beat an FBS team, it helps you. So think about James Madison. Remember, they beat Virginia Tech.
You're right.
Didn't even get in to the FCS championship.
Goes to show you absolutely the tremendously talented football programs and the football championship subdivision in Charles. Again, how competitive it is.
Yeah, Michael, I'll say this. In conference play on any level, is like going to a family reunion. They only remember, your family remembers you when you were a little kid, snotty nose, had the different things about you that may have changed, but they don't care about that. They know how to beat you, and they know how to get to your weaknesses.
Carlton Ray with a nice job of running the football. Shook off the tackle attempt of Appalachian State's Patrick Blaylock, the DB. A first down run for Carlton Ray. You know, Ray, excellent running back, but was bottled up for the first 3 quarters today.
Yeah, he was, and he shows you here his ability. I mean, right there, he was going down and able to get balance and turn around and make moves. But they just really did a good job. App State did bottling him up, not allowing him to get any big runs.
Carlton Ray on that stretch play as he got tripped up near the 45-yard line. But think about it, he's 2 more years of being the lead back along with Bryce Flowers for Mark Hendrickson at Western Illinois.
That doesn't hurt you at all. I mean, if you're Will Lunt, who looks like he would be the quarterback next year, the sophomore, 6'3", 215-pound backup quarterback to Matt Barr, I think you're in good position with your running back.
Yeah, we like the looks of Mark Hendrickson's Leathernecks offense. As Carlton Ray again with the carry of the football and came up right at the first down sticks, close to it. They're going to say he went down about a yard shy as we approach 60 seconds left.
This App State Ball Club has not ever lost to a Missouri Valley Football Conference team. They're keeping that streak alive.
Yes,
as well.
they are. Now Matt Barr will push forward and move the sticks inside the 40-yard line, trying to stop the clock while the chain gang advances.
Michael, I have to say this again. Since 2003, they will now be 55 of 58 games here at the Rock. That's holding home court.
You know, Charles, and to some degree, Western Illinois has it, but you have to have a veteran-laden football team that doesn't intimidate, doesn't scare, and wants to feel like you can punch Appalachian State in the mouth. And that throw from Matt Barr is going to get picked off. It was intercepted out of the secondary by Ingram Bell, the sophomore cornerback. That'll put the finishing touches on this big Appalachian State win. So let's go ahead and advance the Mountaineers to the quarterfinals next week. Well, they will surely host the winner of the Villanova-Stephen F. Austin game.
That's going to be a good ball game. I mean, whoever wins out of Stephen F. Austin or Villanova will be a good matchup for this.
The defending FCS Villanova champions.
Well, Villanova, and I saw App State beat Montana.
Yeah.
I mean lose to Montana, excuse me. Montana loses to Villanova in the finals last year. So you know they're going to try to come into this house, and they don't care about home record or anything else. The boys from Philly are going to come down and really try to make it tough for App State to advance.
Victory formation. Jamal Jackson taking a knee, and Jerry Moore once again, as is the custom with Appalachian State advancing on in the FCS championships.
I should say the Lumberjacks also, whoever wins out of that game.
Yes, you should.
That is going to be a game itself, good and strong. App State played outstanding football today.
Partner, fabulous job. Always enjoy being with you. All right, that's going to do it from the Rock here in Boone, North Carolina. Kid Brewer Stadium, a winter wonderland this afternoon. Didn't matter as DeAndre Presley and Appalachian State beat Western Illinois 42-14. So Appalachian State advances to the FCS Championship quarterfinal round. The preceding an exclusive presentation of the NCAA. For Charles Arbuckle and all the crew, I'm Michael Regan. So long, everybody, from Boone, North Carolina.